And we're live. Welcome back to another episode of the Keep It Pushing podcast. I am your host, Jesse Garcia, accompanied by my co-host,
Angelito the Vibes.
Angelito the Vibras. And today we got some special guests in the building. We got the homie Tank and Company. Can you guys please remind me your name one more time, ladies?
My name is Els.
Els.
And my name is Daphne.
Daphne. How you doing, guys?
Man, it's fantastic to be here.
Thank you guys for joining us on such short notice. We appreciate you guys coming through.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah, Angel was so excited, said you guys were so excited. I mean, hey, let's get it going.
Yeah, no, we're really excited for this episode. So today is a special segment. We got the After Hours segment going on, and we'll just be chopping it up, getting to know each other. But where did you guys meet initially, you and Angel?
At Truly.
Yeah. Tank barbacks with us, and I bartend, and then we had talked to each other like in passing, just because it's like so hectic sometimes. And then one time after work, we were having a beer, and then we were talking about like business, us having the store, and then he's like, "Oh, I got a business of my own," and he told me a little snippet about what he does, and I was just sitting there like
mind blown.
Yeah, like, I have never heard of this. Like,
he has my dream job.
We did that.
Yeah, but so you said originally you're from Florida.
We're originally out of Orlando, yes. We just moved here a year ago.
A year. Oh, so all three of you guys are hailing from Orlando.
Yes, we did.
And dude, what was the collective decision to move out here? What was, if I may ask, the reason?
We had been doing business on the East Coast, and on the East Coast for about 10 years, a little over a decade, and it was really time to expand our opportunities and our numbers, and things were slowing down in Florida, and we're like, you know what, it's a great time
to make a transition.
Make that transition. If you're going to do it now.
Yeah, sometimes you just need like kind of like a little kick in the ass, like, you know, or like a realization, like maybe it'd be better over there. And to me, because I was telling you guys, I lived in Miami for a short time. I was young. I was like 16, 17. Hey. Yeah, 305. Hi, Leah, baby.
Represent. That's still my zip code, like my area code. Yeah, zip code on my phone.
Hell yeah.
That's my zip code. What is it called?
The area code.
It's area code. But, dude, I love Orlando. Like, I tell people, if I was to ever move back to Florida, I moved to Orlando. I went there like 3 times. Disney area, Kissimmee.
Yeah.
That's
we drove.
We
I like Kissimmee,
right there.
Man.
It was really nice.
It's a cool vibe.
Yeah, it is a cool vibe. Changed a lot, but it really is the business that we're in. It's just limited opportunities when you live in the land of the mouse.
Land of the Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, that whole area's economy is controlled by
kids.
But especially for the stuff that we do.
Yes.
Okay, and I want to get into that, but especially in an area that's like G-rated, I guess you could say.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult to.
This is R-rated shit going on.
They push out all the strip clubs and all the adult stores literally like away from the city.
Wow.
Because Disney like really handles the city. And they like it to be a certain way and the aesthetic and children everywhere.
That fucking mouse is like the mafia, dude.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me?
One of the biggest ones in this country.
Him and the governor went at it. I mean,
really?
Yeah, him and the governor were going at it over a piece of land that was governed all by itself by Disney. It had its own little bylaws and its own little codes, and they didn't pay taxes. And when DeSantis came in here, he goes, "What do you mean you're not paying taxes?" And
it's been a mess ever since.
And it has been a mess ever since.
Since he's come in?
Oh yeah. That's a whole separate man.
Yeah, that's a separate podcast. Okay.
But he did. He came in, and there's just limited opportunity for an R-rated business in a G control, a G land.
So R-rated.
So in addition to that, I also was working deep like in the fashion industry, and I was able to get like a different position in the company. So it just made the most sense. You know what I mean?
Company out here. Okay, so it was kind of everything pushed.
Yeah, it was like the universe is giving us signs.
Right. I was gonna add to that. So when we were discussing about moving to the West Coast, I met her. And we
hit it all, as you
bonded,
can see.
We talked, we did the thing, and then she started talking about her opportunity here on the West Coast, and I was like, hey, we're talking about this.
Okay, so
And we did it.
Collectively, how does that decision? So you meet her first.
Yes.
Okay.
So
so-
I've been married to Tank
We're
for 10
married.
years.
Okay, you guys have been
For 10 years.
for 10 years.
For 10 years,
Okay,
yes.
and then you guys met
We
her
met almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and
Yes.
and now you guys are a relationship.
Yes.
It all works.
It all works.
Together.
Oh, my headphones
all
unplugged.
works.
That's
Your
that.
headphones froze on top of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm back. But
Your headphones said what?
say what? Yeah, that's crazy. So I mean that's amazing, obviously, but I want to know how that comes about. Like, you guys, how do you talk a first date?
Oh man. Well, that can even transition into our early relationship. When we first met, before we got married, I knew her for about 3 years prior to getting married.
Okay.
And so we've known each other about 13 years.
Oh, okay.
And we met at a place called the Fetish Factory, which is a BDSM and kink facility.
What's BDSM in particular?
There you go. BDSM, it's an acronym for bondage and discipline, dominance and submission, and sadomasochism.
Okay.
So what people see, yes, people getting
Did
their
you
butt
get it?
whipped.
Bondage, discipline.
Dominance.
Bondage, dominance.
No,
bondage,
bondage and
discipline, my bad,
discipline
Bondage, discipline, dominance,
and submission.
and submission.
Keep the same. Keep the
And-
same. Because it's not like BDDSSSM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wanted to make
Oh.
it short like that. So, yeah, you did.
So
I
the
was
D
gonna
is
say that's
double.
more letters than what I think.
No, you were right, exactly right.
So
I
Yeah.
saw you
gotta
counting.
know
I saw you
to
counting. I was
know.
like, hold on.
It's like the
If you know, you know.
speakeasy.
So-
You gotta
so-
know to know.
So I guess that's a good segue to ask into your business. So does your business and wait, no. I want to go back to the fetish factory. I want to go back to
She
the
said I
fetish.
got questions.
Yes, please. I want to go back to. So explain to me
So-
what that is in particular.
So I used to work at this store called Fetish Factory.
It's a store.
It's a store. It's a clothing store, and also it's really a store for fetishes. So leather, latex, wigs, anything for you to transform yourself into whatever fantasy you have. Okay. And then in the back, there's a little room where like the normal sex toys that you're used to seeing at a sex store. There is that too. But the store throws a party once a month. Every second Saturday of every month, there's a party. And it's like exclusive. You can't bring your phone.
After hours type vibe.
Yes.
Oh, it's definitely after
strictly
hours.
fetish dress code. Like you cannot go in there with your like jeans and sneakers. Like you have to like completely commit.
So I would have to go wearing a
All
BDSM
of it.
outfit, whatever.
yes.
Okay.
Whatever.
So even if you're not in the community, at the very least, like look like us, so you can be in there and not make anybody uncomfortable.
And participate in the vibes.
Because like
obviously.
the elites go there and they want to feel comfortable. They want to feel like no one's judging them and stuff. So even if that's not your thing, but you want to check it out, at least look like us, so you don't make nobody uncomfortable.
Elites being people of stature, which we
Yes.
won't name, but okay, awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
and
You see those kinds of people.
And in this party is not just a great party, but it's there is furniture, BDSM furniture, which are like benches that you bend people over, spanking, the big X's that
His
you've
face
seen
is
with the
personal.
crosses, cages,
Andrew's cross.
St. Andrew's cross, cages, and people will be being tied up, and some people will be getting spanked, and
Whips
some
and
people will be
chains.
whipped.
Will they have relations there as well?
No.
No,
No, so it's okay. So
So we
BDSM,
call them play parties, but it's not. The focus is not sex. It's
So
pretty much foreplay.
BDSM doesn't technically have to be sexual.
correct.
So you don't have to. There has to be no. There can be no penetration.
There's
and it's
sexual
still-
energy being
Yeah.
shared.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
there's no actual like sex.
Yes, they call it, and a lot of it's been known to be called sex magic. Like you're doing sex magic. We're exchanging sexual energy, but we're not touching our sexual organs.
I mean, with tools.
I heard something on a show. Quick
Yes.
side note: I heard something on a show the other day where it was like this guy on this Could Have Been Love. It's like a reality love TV show. But he said there's such things as spiritually transmitted diseases, and I agree with that because
What? Yes.
sometimes when you lay with somebody, you could feel heavy afterwards.
You
Oh my
better
goodness.
fucking believe it.
You know?
it's true. Or you feel like low energy.
So, but how do you-
after being with that person,
You know, like you just don't feel right.
So is
Yeah.
energetic what?
Spiritually transmitted
Spiritual
disease. It's
tra-
STD
holy
instead of sexually.
Yeah.
spiritually.
That is the
Spiritual
most
transmitted.
LA thing I have heard.
it is pretty LA. It is pretty LA.
Yes.
That's Starbucks, girl. It's
But
spiritual.
listen,
That's the same people who say like unhoused instead of homeless. That's that.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
So you work Fetish Factory.
I worked there.
Okay,
And so
this is how you guys met.
I worked at the
initially?
store and also helped. Sorry, I speak with my hands.
No, that's fine. I'm Cuban. I
no,
get it.
you're
I
good.
speak with my hands too.
So I worked at the store and also helped host the parties.
Oh.
So between the people that worked at the store, we built a very strong relationship with our clients because we're not only selling you the outfits and the toys and the things, we're also partying with you at this very private event that is, is very intense energy we're all sharing.
So you're building a connection almost.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
And the store is not cheap. So the type of like customer service we have to give is there. So
next
we
level.
really do build that relationship with our clients that come in there. And he was one of my regulars.
Oh, you would come in there.
He would
Yes.
bring his girls and I would dress them up and be all excited about it. And he never really bought a toy from there. He always had his own. So he came in with his girls and I would, interact and stuff. But the energy like doesn't lie.
Okay.
So through working the party and hosting the events, we kind of had a little something.
Something brewing.
Yes,
know?
absolutely.
Oh, because you would be at the events and she'd be there as well.
Yes,
Yes.
and also bring the girls at the
Well,
store.
yeah,
So
I would
see
bring
him-
my girlfriends to the
Yeah, looking
store
at
so that
me.
she could dress them up,
Okay.
so
So I
that
would
we
see
could
him
all
in the
go to the
daytime.
party. So I would come into the store, and well, then I found excuses to go to the store.
He did. He actually did. For 2 years, he found excuses
Yeah.
to go in the store.
How much does one of these outfits cost? Because you said it's
Oh
quite
my god!
expensive.
Like I gotta convince you to buy a latex
Suit, let me
mini
see.
skirt
Yeah,
for like $200. That's barely covering your
a
booty.
piece of rubber like
But it's
this. So
gorgeous.
But it's gorgeous. I mean, latex is worth it. So definitely no.
is that
knock
the
on
is
that,
that
but-
the I guess the French terry, like the best material
Latex
in
in
that?
the
Yeah.
fetish world?
it
Oh
the
man,
most-
I would put it up there.
oh,
Like the thing
yeah.
about latex, like when you wear it, like your skin gets more sensitive, so it's just it enhances all the experiences.
It's made
what
for
normally
playtime.
feels amazing, you put latex on, it's like
Latex, I would say it's like the same level caliber of like a designer bag.
Okay.
Or like a designer outfit. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
Tom,
It just
Tom
feels-
Ford and
Oh,
like
yeah,
Louis
it's
Vuitton. Like
amazing.
it's like
It's
You put
amazing.
some on
Oh
before?
my god,
Have
yes.
you- Chef's kiss.
Latex
Is it easy to
amazing.
put on?
No,
you gotta lube your body. So it's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
experience.
it's a process. It's a process.
It's a process, man.
Yeah.
You gotta lube your body
I'm
to like
learning something
slide
today.
in there, and
Like
then
baby oil type?
Time.
it has to be silicone based lube,
wonder
y'all.
what Diddy
Silicone
was-
based lube.
All this goddamn baby oil.
Silicone based lube, and then you slide in there, and then with that same lube you use to shine it. Because if you think about rubber, like let's say you don't do that, and you put rubber and you squeeze somehow in there without ripping it, and now you're in there, but now you start sweating, you're gonna be like stuck in there, like not being able to move. So if you lube yourself, right? If you lube yourself, then you'll be able to like move in there freely.
Because I was gonna say, is it breathable? Like if you like,
No.
No, it's not
That's
at
why
all.
you need
Not
the
breathable.
lube. You
That's
need the
actually
lube.
why I
you
feel
need
so
it.
good.
have all of
Yeah.
you put latex on?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
I've made sure they all get in latex.
Yeah.
Really?
And it looks fantastic.
Is that your fetish?
Yes, I mean that
One
whoever started their BDSM journey inside Fetish Factory, you will somehow be obsessed with latex. Like
Is
they're like
Fetish
the latex
Factory
house.
still a thing?
Like within
Yeah,
yes.
still
Oh
thing.
man, they have
Within
like,
the
yeah.
BDSM
Well, shout out to
community.
Fetish Factory.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely,
yes. I was
100%.
born there. And I met my husband there, so for sure, shout out
Yeah,
to Fetish Factory.
man. All the love for Glenn and Donna.
Yes.
All the love.
Yes. So, what happened? So, being that who I am, like I'm an entrepreneur, I do all these things. I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist, all these things. When he would go in with these girls, I would make sure to let them know, like I can help you shop for your outfit, but I can also
Glam
do
you
your
up.
hair, your makeup, and stuff for the party.
Hustling.
I respect
Hustling.
that. I respect that
So-
because I'd have found and did the same thing.
So you know what he did? He said before after they checked out,
Smooth,
he's
pay
like,
attention, y'all.
he was like, why don't you give me your number so I can contact you so you can get my girls ready for the next party. So that was his way of like
Key.
Player, if you don't know.
Yeah, end around. You have to end around.
getting in there. And so I was like, oh my god, for sure, yeah, do it. And
And that's how you guys obviously formed a relationship, and then
Yeah, she ignored me
sounds-
for the next 2 years.
2 years after
She
that.
ignored me for the next 2 years.
No, but really, I was a bigger girl, and towards the end of these 2 years before we really got together, I was really trying my thing and eating healthy and doing stuff, and he noticed. So at the party, he's like, "Wow, you're looking awesome. Like, good job." And since he had my number, he would then he would randomly text me, "Did you run today?"
You
Yeah,
got see
know.
that's
Carrying your cane.
Because you know what you're doing is you're showing interest in their day without asking a simple question like, "How was your day?"
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like, "Did you go on a run or did you hit the gym?"
And if you ran today, make sure you drank water.
So of course I'm like, "Aw."
And now you're worried about the health.
There you go. See?
Right.
That's how it worked. That's how it worked.
That's amazing.
Yes. So of course I'm like, this is awesome. But at the time I was living with a girl. And so that wasn't like the thing.
Are you
but
bisexual?
Huh?
Are you bisexual?
Yes. I'm pretty much pansexual.
Like what I'm saying is
I
like,
used to think I was bisexual, but honestly, energy. So it doesn't matter. I just love.
pansexual is energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna
you
ask
can-
that.
Pansexual
Please.
is more like you're open to whatever, however they come.
However you
It doesn't matter if
self-identify.
you're male, female, trans, non-binary, trans male, trans female, trans mask. However you self-identify, it doesn't matter.
Can you say the last one again?
Trans mask.
What's that?
Trans mask and trans femme. So trans mask is typically going to be like your people are like non-binary, or like, let's say someone who might be like biological one gender but dressed the other, but doesn't necessarily identify as the opposite gender specifically. It's like a trans male and trans mask are separate.
No disrespect, but it's almost like cosplay, maybe.
No
disrespect.
It's full disrespect to that community.
Really?
Me personally, like, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the whole community. So think about like trans male is gonna be someone who was biologically born a female and wanted to convert to male, identifying as he, him.
Okay.
Trans mask may have a similar aesthetic, but don't identify with the he, him pronouns. Biggest
So
difference.
they're aesthetic.
Aesthetic trans mask, masculine, but not
it.
excessively a male. They don't need to be he or him.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because what I took it as was like they would dress up like and go party at night and but this is their daily.
Their lifestyle.
Okay,
their
understood.
life,
Yeah, so
like
my
what
bad,
they live
my
and
bad.
live and breathe.
There is a
like I said,
fetish
you're entitled to
also
your
for
opinion.
that,
I
called
just
cross-dressing, actually.
I don't speak for the whole community.
That's a fetish as well.
Yes.
What is?
Cross-dressing is different, completely different.
It is.
This is somebody who just gets off by putting on the opposite sex, opposite gender's clothing and playing that role.
It is crazy because if you think about it, in the community, they get very, very specific, right? But if you're talking about like rated R and specifically in the adult industry, anything like that, they actually don't even call them transgender. They call them like ladyboys.
Yeah.
That's where you're gonna find like more. It's
I
so
thought that was
interesting
an
to
offensive
me.
term, honestly.
It is, but it's weird how that community has adopted it on their own because it's like we may not be, and I'm sorry if this offends anyone, as educated to use like the terms that the community uses, but we know you, we like you,
Like,
and
we
we're
see
gonna, you know what I mean? Still capitalize off of that. It's
Okay.
just, it's the same thing, different terminology, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
Thank
That's
you.
I would say one's more slang.
You know
I
what?
guess you
I'm
could
glad.
say.
I'm glad that you guys are so savvy to this because before we like even started this podcast, we always have been curious people, and these are questions that we haven't have answered. Honestly, like
yeah.
us, like because you see a lot of different stuff on like TikTok, social media, but you
course.
don't know what's real. You don't know what's
There's
not.
so much. It's
You know?
so, even within our community, like me as a lesbian, there's so much. Like, even for me to keep up with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
the
there's
younger
a lot.
generation use whole different stuff, and I'm like, yo, I gotta learn. I've been here like my whole life, yo. Like, relax.
So you said you're a lesbian.
I am
in
a
specific.
lesbian, yeah.
Okay, so how does that work in regards to like the three of you?
It's easy.
guys?
I'm her girlfriend. She's married to him, and then
We're in a V poly relationship.
so
Be
she's the
She's
she's
like
the
the anchor
point.
point.
I'm like the.
She's the anchor.
She's the anchor point.
Between us
they
two.
they don't have sex.
Can you get a little closer? Like what?
Sorry. So they don't have sex.
Yeah.
But they do share like a bromance and they love each other and
We
respect
do.
each other. So you need to pound me. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna be. I was
That's
waiting
gonna be
for
a
that
great
I don't want to
soundbite.
disrespect you.
No,
but
they're never,
I'm gonna
never,
take
never.
That soundbite's gonna be crazy.
No, I still consider. I get to.
No, you're playing.
I get to bang my wife with my bestie.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That was
Looking great over there.
You're doing great. Keep that good work up.
So okay, but you do see each other naked, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, we
yeah.
all run around
We're
naked.
family.
Bad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's what I said.
family.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it was an adjustment for me because I've always lived with women. So living with a guy, I've been learning a lot about y'all.
about
Really?
man.
I've been
Yeah.
learning
Oh man, the anatomy.
about men. I was like, yo, what? It's crazy.
So how does pee-pee
Yeah,
work?
this is some of the
No,
first stuff
not-
she's ever
not
seen.
like
She was
that.
like,
Really?
"Can I see it? Yeah. Can I
No.
touch it? Ew."
So you've never had relationships with a man?
No, I have not. I have. You know, I'm gonna say this though. I did try. Like when I was in high school, I was like, you know what? Everyone's all like, you don't unlock it till you try and blah blah blah. So I was like, let me do it. I had a really good friend of mine at the time, and I was like, I'll buy the condoms, I'll buy the beer. I have a house we can do it at, whatever. Cause you know it's high school, and I tried. I felt so bad. I just couldn't do it. I felt him hard on top of me, and he still had his boxers on, and I was like, man, I love you, but I can't do it.
Like even before he penetrated
Like
type thing.
he could even get to that
tried.
point. He had his boxers on. He was hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And I just me do asco. Like
Yeah.
like the same way like your mouth doesn't drool by dick, right?
And not at all.
Okay, same.
And if
That's
it
it.
does,
It's that
that's
simple.
fine.
Same. Lo mismo.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It doesn't no me cae la baba. Like for me, like I see a woman, a girl, I'm like, ooh, you know, it's
Now-
different. Like I question, like, oh man, I don't know what you taste like. I don't do that about peepees. Neither do you. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same
okay.
thing.
Now,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had
Now
something-
being,
But I did try. So you know what I mean. I feel like I should get kudos
But
for that.
that, no,
And shout out to
kudos.
the guy. Like I appreciate you, and I'm sorry I gave you blue balls.
that's an important apology.
Yeah, because that was blue balls.
I
does
felt
suck.
bad. I genuinely felt
And
bad.
I'm glad that you feel us, but you don't feel us.
Yeah,
like
you know,
get it.
I
you know?
get it.
Yeah,
I get
you
it, but stay over there.
Yeah. Yes,
What I was gonna say
Stay
is,
over
you
there.
guys are both Latinas,
Yes.
right? So how was that like in regards to like family? Or,
Oh
like,
my god.
Man.
yeah. Because it's one thing to be like Latina and lesbian, but to like being.
I've had
in,
like
a-
3 coming out like moments
Yeah.
in my life. Well, the first time back then when I met
She's
him,
at just 3 just with me in the family.
back then when I met him, and I said earlier that I had a girlfriend, like that was my first coming out, and my parents were in Colombia, and I'm very, if you know me, I'm very like like this is what you get, and like I'm very blunt a lot
great.
of times, and so
There's never any guessing.
I just was tired of, I don't know. So I called my parents on my break. I was going to hair school at the time. And I just was fed up, and I was like, I need to tell them that I live with a woman, because they were in Colombia and I'm here in the United States. And I literally called them and I said, I just want you guys to know that I live with a woman and I love her and you can't do anything about it. And my break is over. And I just hung up.
player. Yeah, player. She's a player as well.
So I don't know, like that's just,
But I love
yeah. So that was my first coming out. And then the second time, damn, I had more than 3. We eloped. So I'm the youngest of my family. And we left and got married in Vegas. I didn't tell anyone.
This is 3 years after knowing each other.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I like the story kind of stopped, but because it's very cool the way we actually got to it.
Yeah.
I had a question for her real quick.
Go ahead.
How was it for you, like coming out to your family?
It's tough, man. Like Latin families.
Yeah.
It's tough. Long story short, not to make anybody depressed. My dad's the reason why I wear glasses. Let's just put it that way.
Wow.
Like, he tried to beat the gay out of me and failed. Still a faggot. But, you know what I mean? I think that, life isn't about like what happens to you, it's how you approach it after that.
Yeah.
And so, my mom loves me. She supports me as best as she can. You know what I mean? My dad has actually come around and was like, I want to get to know you. And my grandparents, though, shout out to them. They're the real MVPs on both my mom and my dad's side. They're the ones who are like, I love you no matter what the fuck you are.
That's crazy. That
And my
even
brother-
like an older
Like another-
generation.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
But like, the
But they are.
abuelos go in.
They do. And my brother, he was the first person I told. And the only thing he said is, don't steal my girlfriends. And to this day, there was only one that was like an almost.
That's funny.
I mean, like, I love you, bro. She fine.
That's funny. So you guys, do you guys meet at the how do you guys connect?
We met at Girls in Wonderland
It's a lesbian festival.
for like
In
4
Orlando,
days.
Florida.
Where's it in Orlando?
In Orlando, of all places, Orlando.
And is it? By the way, is that like a
Shout out Girls in Wonderland 25th anniversary this
Hey.
year.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Shout out. But is that like a heavy gay community?
Lesbians.
It's only lesbian and
girls,
women
some gay
identified.
boys.
You're
And
talking
some
about
gay
Orlando
boys
in
make it
general
in.
or just the
as-
event?
Orlando
No, the
as a
event.
full.
Orlando is gay, just gay central. Orlando, Miami, Tampa for Florida. That's where the queers can safely
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Outside of that, baby, you're on your own. But you'll be fine in Orlando.
Unfortunately,
Tampa,
after that Pulse attack.
Damn, just those 3 cities.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
forgot.
But Key West, never mind.
was in
Key West is
Orlando?
very queer.
Yes, that
Yeah,
was in
but
Orlando.
Key West is
Orlando
tied in with
turned
Miami.
around and made a really
True.
strong,
But good point. Good point.
safe spot for queer people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? That's cool of them. That's cool that the city
Yeah.
supports it. Like that's
For
dope.
sure.
Because we have WeHo, but I mean LA just in general.
So
is like a very
yeah,
heavy gay.
I would say downtown Orlando is similar to like WeHo in respects to culture.
Okay.
Yeah. Vibes a little different, but culture.
It's respect. Okay, so you guys meet there.
At Girls in Wonderland
And-
about 2 years ago.
Are you there or no?
No, I
it's
said
girls.
it's girls.
Imagine me. No, it's girls.
And what's crazy is
He can't even pass. Like if he try to cross dress. No.
Yeah, would it work? So you guys meet there.
we
Yes.
did.
And so do you guys technically have an open relationship
Pretty much. I mean,
with women? With women.
Yes and no. It's not like just because I like women, I'm just gonna go ahead and hook up. And
I
bring
mean,
anybody
obviously
home.
not now because you guys are like in a V, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
But
right now we're in a closed triad too, which is like we're not currently accepting applications.
so there's applications to be
It's
took at
just
some point.
it's just
There's
the
resume
verbiage.
fourth?
It's just the verbiage.
Oh, okay.
Fourth.
I mean, but you can fill out the submissive application.
That's
Yeah,
do
that's
have
completely
that
different. We do have a
application's open.
submissive.
If
We
you
are
want to
accepting
serve us,
submissions.
for sure, that's welcome.
Okay. And
He said, "I got more questions. I got more
So you
questions."
can't join us in a relationship.
But
Just not one on this level.
In a different dynamic, yes, but not romantically.
okay,
Right.
I just noticed that I haven't given you guys so tell me what your business consists of exactly. What you guys bring to the table as far as your business goes.
We have many different.
We have different things that we do.
Services that
we
you
are,
offer.
Yes. We do education. We do BDSM education and party entertainment. But it's all like really wrapped around the BDSM world and
Education.
educating.
Education.
Yes. So the way we entertain, by the time you're done with this party, you learn something. And you probably are now in love with BDSM, fetish, kink, and want to go buy your own whips and your own things.
Okay.
Because the way we do it, like we understand that our community can be intimidating, and there's like a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions about the BDSM world. So the way we like approach it is very friendly, very fun, very sexy, very stylish, the way that we dress and stuff, because we understand that. So we are actually like as experts in gaining more members to our community.
Like returning
we're definitely
clients.
Yes.
we're ambassadors.
And our company is called Carnival Risque.
Carnival.
Carnival
Carnival.
Risque.
Like we're out of Miami. We were gonna do
Risque.
originally.
Yeah. Is that what the name was all? Did you guys rebrand when you came out here?
Carnival,
Or
yes.
it's always been
We
Carnival?
No, it's
rebranded,
Carnival
but only
Risque.
color wise. The name is the same.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So BDSM.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have people that are like first timers, never done it, just want
Yes.
to try it
All
out
the
type
time.
deal?
All the time.
No, yeah.
And those become the returning guys.
Yes.
Okay, so-
Because we believe that there's two kinds of people. Let me tell you.
Yeah, there are only two kinds of people. There's people who are kinky, and then people who don't know they're kinky. So
Literally, period. That's it.
full stop.
Love that.
It, ju-
So,
it just
you know.
takes the right person to show you, and boom.
Yeah, it takes the right person to give you the opportunity to feel safe enough to really explore one of the things that we are probably most self-conscious about, which is our sexuality.
Why
People
is
in
that?
general.
Like people
What?
just
Which
People
part?
just feel shame.
Honestly, culture, religion, your parents.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Has a
Modern
lot to do with
society.
it. Really?
So
I
Love that. With the receipts. I love that.
Yes, like there's
sad is what it is, and that's how you were asking me.
I feel like
you're
I'm-
asking me. That's sad. It's such a sad thing that we should feel that way, and it is. And that is the reason we built our company, is to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to learn something where there is zero judgment.
Yes.
You will not be judged here. Even if I don't like what you do, I believe in your right to do it, and I believe in your ability, your expression of happiness, as long as you're safe, sane, and consensual, and you're not, do no harm. That's all we say: do no harm, and we will make sure that you can do it in a place where you won't feel any harm
Oh.
or
okay.
shame.
or shame
Or
or,
shame.
guilt or.
Yeah.
So how does a typical session go?
Woo! Okay. Well,
Like I show up, hi, my name's Jesse. First time coming to the show. or to the experience.
So I mean, the thing that's such a broad because we can do privates, or we can do a whole hotel takeover, or we can host an erotic
private
art museum.
A private.
So
Let's start with a private.
a private. I mean, you're gonna have your first consultation.
Yeah, you
What
have,
is that? What is that?
Negotiations.
Yeah,
you have to have your first consultation. What that's going to be is we're going to ask you the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you to take this test. This test will give us an understanding of a questionnaire, not like a test.
Yeah.
So
Someone
it's
in the
really there
comments
just to
anxiety.
figure out what you're into. So, it doesn't say exactly what you're into, but it gives us ideas of the kinds of things. So it's what your proclivities might be. Do I like to be tied up? What your interests are? Do I like the idea of being beat up? Do I like the idea of being humiliated? Do I like the idea of humiliating somebody else? Do I like the idea of being blindfolded?
It's very thorough.
It's very thorough.
It's how long? It's like a 20-minute survey.
It is
do
definitely
the long
20 or 30
version.
minute
Don't do
survey.
the short version.
Okay, so this is the initial consultation.
Well, this is before we meet. So you show interest. We'll send you the link to the questionnaire.
Do it on your own time.
You send us those results so we can learn more about you. So by the time we sit with you, we already know like what we're dealing with and kind of like where we would
have a game plan.
Yes, we've been doing this so long that we recognize that these are the things that you're into. And these are the ways that we can do it. So how can we do that? We see that you're into being bound. So now
what's that?
That means tied up.
Tied up in whatever capacity.
Yeah, but we say bound because you could be tied up with rope. You could be put in cuffs and chains and held.
Or a tie.
You can have a tie, silk
Get
ties.
creative.
Shirt.
Saran wrap.
Your jeans.
Or even verbally. Verbal bondage is a thing. Verbal bondage, like put your arm up and stay right there until I say different. Like I'm.
Wow.
I want you to put your hands behind your back.
Oh my! How long? What's the longest y'all made somebody just stay there with their hand?
I mean, we're always fair, and I guess again, safety and sane first.
It's been 2 days. Can I please? No, I'm sure that, but that's so people just that's not that in particular, but something like that would be a person enjoys the pain, maybe.
No discipline.
That one is somebody who enjoys being disciplined. Okay. Yeah. So that's verbal. We call it verbal bondage because you're being bound. Don't move your hands or there's consequences. So you put your hands here, and
it's up to you if you want to be a good boy or a good, or a
but
bad
we had
boy.
discussed what the consequences are during the consult.
What are the consequences?
That's how we
He's like, I'm ready for like.
So now that we have an idea of what you're into, how are we going to approach those interests? And we have to do that by asking more questions. We sit down for, about an hour and talk like, okay, I like to be bound, but I don't like the idea of rope. So, okay, well, we can tie you down with cuffs. Maybe you're into or maybe you just love leather and leather cuffs. So now you are being bound. That's why it's BDSM, bondage, because I'm not just tying you up. I'm binding you to a spot.
Saran wrap.
Saran wrap is an amazing tool for
Saran wrap. The whole body?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Or even
Lisa
like
ran
using
after
it
to her chair in Tennessee.
So good.
Like she was in the chair and we both went around like.
Is naked? I'm assuming.
Because
she was in her
there's science that comes to this.
Yes.
Like when you bound the body, things are happening with your brain and your chemicals.
Yeah,
And
what's
the
happening?
Science.
Take our class.
Hey!
Well, that was a great time. That was a great time to pitch me.
Straight face.
Book me.
I can give you nuggets. I mean,
We'll shout your guys' business out down
appreciate
below.
it.
So
Absolutely.
he's been working on his PhD for human sexuality.
Yeah.
PhD.
Yes.
How long does that take to obtain? I'm a high school dropout. Keep that in mind.
Well, I'm in my 50s. I'm still going to school.
Okay.
So, well, in the particular field of human sexuality, it is a very wide open field, and it's still, once again, when it goes back to the sex thing with like, why is sex? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Why is it weird?
Yeah. Why is it weird?
To talk
Still,
about,
it's so
at least.
weird that we even our schooling doesn't have an overarching body. So
It's just kind of like what to do, what not to do.
yes,
Cool.
pretty much. But
Yeah.
for BDS, my dissertation is BDSM as a somatic methodology. That means movement. Somatic methodology to alleviate symptoms of PTSD. Since I suffer from PTSD.
Me too.
So we talked about how we can get out of our heads because by doing BDSM, by impacting the body, manipulating the body, I am causing the body to tell the brain to dump all these chemicals into your bloodstream. The dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, serotonin, adrenaline, all of your happy and feel-good chemicals. So, even if you we'll have to do the stub toe analogy. Is, you stub your toe and you dance around. Now it hurts it freaking hurts. Well, our bodies don't like that. So it tells the brain goes, hey, I hate what's going on in my toe. So let me dump the endorphins, make you feel a little better. The adrenaline makes it go numb. So then it's not hurting anymore.
It's crazy you say that because after you like hit your elbow or like hit something really hard, there's like a rush of like,
That's yes, all of that, all of those chemicals.
Or you know what? Call me weird, but I used to press on my bruises, dude.
So BDSM.
I used to
look who's
dude. I used to press on my bruises when I was a kid. I swear.
You know which one was mine?
Is that a kink? Fuck
Mine.
Told you.
He said I'm kinky. I told you. Mine growing up was the Indian burn. That one, I used to be like, do it more. Yeah.
See?
Do it more.
So now, but both of you like sensation. To talk about the negotiation, what are going to be the consequences? You like the bruise pushing, right? So if you're a good boy and you keep your hands still, you probably have bruises because I beat your ass.
Yeah.
So then I'll press on your bruises. And so now you're being a good boy and now you're having your bruises pressed. So you're getting that rush of chemicals. Right? But you want to be a bad boy.
Simple.
Yeah.
BDSM is
because
beautiful.
a good boy, that also releases anytime somebody says something good to you, it's just like, when you're chastised or when you're praised. So good boy, and they give you a reward by pressing on that bruise. So you get those dumps of those chemicals. Now you want to be a bad boy because you want to be a bad boy, you want to be a brat, and you start moving.
Bad boy.
Yeah, you talked about like, well, I hate Indian burns. So every time you move, we'll give you an Indian burn. So even though you both had that's why you have to negotiate. How are we going to?
Even if you're a good boy or a bad boy, there's consequences.
The good boy is the good kind.
It's like you're talking about yourself. Like, the good
Because
consequences.
there's a misconception that when people's like, oh, I've been a bad girl, but when you talk to a real like BDSMer lifestyle, like in our community, like, you sure? Because bad boy, like it's. People think like I'm gonna get the good heavy stuff. No, you're gonna get the bad. Like you did something bad, I'm gonna make sure you like. Now, if you do the good and you get good girl treatings, then that's like the good kind, the one that you think the bad boy or bad girl is.
Good girl
So bad is really bad in
girl
BDSM.
spankings.
it's really bad.
It's two different types of spankings.
Horrible.
With a real BDSM, yes.
There's good
girl spanking.
A good girl
bad
spanking versus a bad girl spanking are two
I want to
different
get into it.
experiences.
What's a good girl spanking?
A good girl spanking is gonna take our time. We're gonna like really make you
Caress
feel good.
it. Caress that thing.
A bad girl
So smack.
spanking, no warm up. Bad.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
scare
right there.
But a good girl, you've been good. You've been following your tasks. You've been doing all the good things. Now let me take care of you.
Yeah, verbally now, just like there's this position called over the knee. Remember we used to get your spankings? I don't know if they did that, but when I was growing up, it's over the knee and pow, pow, pow. Now, if you had in a particular instance, if she was bent over my knee because she's been a good girl and she's got a beautiful little outfit on and her panties are on, you want to rub her butt, you know, like this is good girl spankings.
You're gonna tell her how proud you are,
how
of
good
her,
she
how
looked
sexy
and beautiful
she
is, and then you start just a little bit of.
Oh, you get a
Work
little
her
rhythm
way.
going.
Yeah. But if she was
Whatever song is playing, it's
she
No,
was-
but
music in the back.
even good girl can go all the way to hard, but you took your time. Like,
Yeah.
Actually,
The science.
you're gonna get harder because we're gonna get back in the science of it.
Yeah.
But you got the rubbing and you hit it, but then that's not fun for anybody.
No, hell no.
He said, I'm gonna be a good boy.
I'll be a good boy, I swear.
I swear. He even sat up straight a little bit. He's like, oh, coño.
So that's good girl and bad girl, or a good boy or a bad boy. But the idea behind that is remember we stubbed our toe, right? We got that rush, that first bruise. Remember when you were pressing on your bruises that they start to fade, so you have to start pressing harder and harder.
Yeah.
The same thing. You were given a nice little spanking, but now I have to go harder because the body
Those chemicals
recognizes, like if you stub your toe, you banged your elbow,
Same.
and you did it in the same exact position, you don't get that rush because the body goes, oh, there's no threat, I'm fine. There's no damage, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But if you were to bang your toe again at
Harder.
a much harder or different angle or cut it open, then you get those chemicals again. So the idea is we're manipulating the body's chemicals by adjusting the intensity, the heaviness. But in order to make sure you can get up to those bigger ones,
You have to warm up the car first.
yes, you have to warm up
There you
the
go.
car.
That's a good
That is
analogy.
perfect. I am actually going to use that.
Now,
now.
if you get
That's amazing.
yeah,
Okay, I like
warm
that.
the
a bad girl, bad boy by
Yeah, you saw the bad girl, bad boy right out the
It's
back.
like-
I did.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need a
Nobody
second
likes
one.
that.
So what's the thing with the saran wrap? Because it doesn't hurt you, so I'm assuming it's a mental thing at that point. Or
part?
the
think the
saran wrap
feeling-
to
Well,
the
okay.
oh, it's a feeling.
Yeah, definitely. So when you hit something, your brain dumps chemicals.
Like dump
it just
it.
goes boom right into your bloodstream. It needs to get there because oh my God, something's serious. Right? When you're bound or you're tied up, the body doesn't necessarily feel like it's not really sure what's going on. Am I a threatened place? I'm not
like a
really
drip.
sure. So now it's dripping into your bloodstream. The idea is we want your bloodstream full of all of those chemicals.
Yeah.
And that eventually happens during what's called a scene that's playing from the beginning to the end. Yeah. So you get those chemicals in your body. Eventually, you have so many of those chemicals that it alters your brainwave activity. And your brainwave goes from its traditional alpha brainwave state, which is our mobile state, we're active in our environment, to a Zen, a meditative state. In BDSM, we call it subspace.
Subspace.
So
this is after
I
you've
just love
reached your peak
spaces.
and you're kind of on the
That's
way
it.
down.
That's
okay,
it.
so you're
the
here.
idea is we're
and now
trying
we're-
to drive you to that peak.
And then are you? So when the subspace, when you get there, are you going like this, or are you coming down? You're just kind of
That's a
even
great
out,
question.
peaking. Just it's one of those things where because subspace to me is like if I had smoked a doobie or something
you're in
and I was
ecstasy
peak
with
high,
everything.
you know,
Yes,
and now
that's
I'm
your
in
peak
the
high.
subspace.
And you know what? That's
great analogy.
also a great analogy. And you, but you
Yeah,
know,
what's up?
eventually,
You're all in it. You didn't even know.
eventually that high starts to wear off unless you hit it again.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. We've peaked you, and now we're going to trail off.
Cruising,
and
cruising,
We're going to cruise, and then see where you are. If it's time to stop because you've had enough, like I've smoked enough today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And when you had enough, then that's when you sit down and with your munchies.
And you mellow out, and you're on the way down. Okay, so that's for bound. We got BDSM, which is
No,
the
that's
pain.
for all
that's
BDSM.
Oh, that's for
And
all.
also
BDSM.
all just the different activities forces your brains to release those chemicals in different
Different
ways.
ways. Different ways.
There are different
One's the
type of
drip,
plays. Like
one's
impact
a little more-
is
So,
what
like,
he was
you
doing
know-
earlier, and then sensation was what he was just talking about.
So you know when you get that, like he said, that dump, you feel it right away, like you feel this right away.
Yeah.
The drip is like a slowly, like you're going into this thing, like whoa, now I'm like in La La Land, and like it took a little bit to get there without like the dump, that random impact moment.
Okay,
you
so
and you'll feel that a lot in sensation play, like
Sensation
versus
play.
impact play, which was what he was talking about.
sensation is the good. Is the good.
Well, sensation play is just sensation. BDSM is all sensation.
It's all sensation.
sensation.
Like pain,
Even pain
is
is
a
it's
sensation.
just
Yeah.
a
It is. It's just a
intense
different
sensation.
play.
yeah, yeah.
It's learning to play with the sensations. What she was talking about is sensating you in a more or you can't even say sensual. It's sensating you into where your body feels less threatened. The longer you take on your warm up, it's like drip, drip, or dump, dump.
It also depends on how much time you have to play. Like
It's
if
like-
you got all night to play, then take your time.
So it's like an IV too, you know, because
Yeah.
or if you're shooting straight heroin up the you know, it's just
Right.
one's direct and one's like more. Okay, so first consultation, I send the questionnaire back. We schedule it. We have a meeting beforehand. I'm assuming there's stuff signed.
I mean, I'm gonna
and
ask
stuff.
you to have your questions ready so we
Okay.
don't like have all this back and forth figuring it out. Like let's by the time with this phone call ends, we would already have a really good idea of what kind of plan, what kind of classes we're gonna suggest for you to take and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Is it a class or is it an experience with us? Do you
Okay.
want to really learn or do you just want to feel what it is? So we have both available. Do you
Got
want to sit
it.
with your partner and do you want me to train your partner so they can do this to you? That's also a thing. Or do you want your partner to sit there and watch us do this? Or vice versa.
Wow. Okay. So let's say their thing is so you guys come to them after, or do you guys set up a place to meet once like the meeting actually goes down, or
It's by person. Like if you have a beautiful home and you want us to come and
pull up
and pull up, we'll pull up.
Or if you want to come to since we relocated, we haven't opened up a hard site here.
Yeah.
Just yet.
But we'll rent something for the space if they don't have the space available.
Because you said you guys also do like hotels and like venue stuff. So
yes, on the East Coast, we've done all the things from private parties, mansions, hotels. We also have contracts with cruises. Oh. We host 2 swinger cruises a year.
Dude, that was in my head. That was my next question. So so you are you guys technically swingers? I don't want to.
No, we don't. Swing.
All 3 of you guys don't swing.
We don't swing, but the community, it's already open minded, and a lot of the BDSM stuff also already happens in the swinger community. So us as a business educators and passionate about what we do, we obviously learned where to go and teach people that are already investing in their sexuality and traveling to these places and taking classes. Normally swingers are really open about it and want to learn more and want to get. So we're the educators to teach them. Like the focus in the swinger community is fucking. Oh, yeah. We're fucking. The BDSMers, we focus on foreplay, sensations, and how to, like, you can come 4 times before I even touch your private parts in BDSM.
No way.
I could have you in a puddle of goo without even touching your private.
No way.
I give you a good enough spank. Give a girl a good enough spanking. She'll come all over you, and you can. I've never touched anything but her butt.
We've made women squirt with just a great spanking, and I'm not doing nothing down there.
To the clit or anything. It's just straight spanking.
No spanking.
What?
So BDSM is powerful.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Us kind of bridging that gap for the swingers, like they're already fucking, but a lot of times there's a lot of complaints that is like 10 minutes and we're done, and the females are like, me, like what's up? So we go in there and we teach them how to take their time, how to foreplay, how to get them in a puddle of goo before they put anything inside.
Is it a different? So
they don't complain. If you're a 1 minute man, they're not gonna complain because they already came 5 times with everything else you're doing.
Is it a different orgasm?
Oh, more science, right? Well, guys, we only get 2 kinds. Men, we get 2 kinds. Women get 13 different kinds. Wow. Yeah, we only get 2 kinds of orgasms. We
Another
can get
reason
some
in the world
stimulated
why women
rectally,
are
and we can orgasm stimulated, rectally and through our penis or genitalia.
Yeah.
Women, they can have
all of them.
All of them. Physical touch. You can talk a girl into touch, clit, vaginal, anal, uteral, nipples.
Making out. A girl can come just making out.
Yeah. So for men, this is definitively the way you need to go. So
yeah. So BDSM is the most intense orgasm.
Like, if you know how to do it right, yes.
Because you're coupling that orgasmic experience along with that mental space, that mental headspace change. So I've taken your brain out of your alpha waves, which is your typical orgasm. You've had plenty of good ones and better ones, right? Yeah. Some are better than others.
Yeah, for sure.
They're all great.
They're all great. Yeah, I'll take either.
Some are better than the others, but if I've worked you into a space where you're already in that meditative space, that head high that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Imagine you're peaking and you're peaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you're peeking and you're just...
And then you're peeking.
Yeah.
Peeking. Yes.
So good.
Yeah, BDSM, we just take time.
It's a beautiful energy.
So how long does it take so there's no minute man. You could take 30 minutes to come. You decide how long it takes.
Like even if you have issues and you can't hold it and you're somebody that comes fast, like learning BDSM and how to foreplay, it's so important to you because you can do all these things and then when it comes to fucking, you spend however much and the girl's never gonna complain because
you just spent all that time and energy.
So that shame and that a lot of men carry and with that problem, if they would just let go of that shame and just learn how to make a woman come before they go inside them, it's like problem solved. No girl's gonna complain. My man only lasts blah blah. When the man really took their time to learn how to make her come, you don't. We can come how many ways? Like 13
You got
different
12 more
ways.
chances, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Some
So
girls
let
like,
go of
oh.
the shame and you know,
Yo,
do
you know,
the
the
work.
girls are getting together. My man only lasts 1 minute. Girl, you don't get no orgasm? Oh, no, I came 30 times, babe. I'm good, mama.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I didn't
just
have to fucking stay in there with him for another hour while he's just hammering away. And I'm going, okay.
Come
No,
on,
I'm good,
get
mama.
through
I'm
it,
good.
buddy. Yeah.
So it's an all-around win-win.
Okay, so I'm assuming all three of you guys are in business together. So
Yes.
okay, so the consultation is with all three, or
Yeah.
the meeting is with all
Yeah,
three of
she
you
came
guys.
in and such a natural, and
Yeah,
I
all
mean her
three.
background
So,
too.
so I was gonna ask you
yeah.
real quick. What year did you drop out of high school? If you don't mind sharing that with the world, I know it's like personal.
No, at all. I don't remember what year I was supposed to graduate. I think what year did you graduate?
2013.
So I was supposed to graduate 2013, right? We were in the same grade.
Yeah.
All right, 2013. So I dropped out. That's so senior
So that's
year.
your senior
You
year,
probably it was
2011, I think 2010.
Yeah.
so
I
like
dropped
your
out.
sophomore year.
Sophomore
Yeah.
year.
And this is what you're doing now.
That's what I'm
I'm
doing
proud
now.
of you, man.
Thank you,
And I'm
thank
sure
you.
that there's not a lot of former assistant principals, head of discipline that would tell you that. But
Thank you.
me being in education for over 10 years,
Thank you.
I love that because college and school, all that stuff isn't for everyone. So people have that business mindset
Yeah.
and need to divest into like what they know they're great at. You know, if they
Yeah.
know that they can hustle through their way, do it. You know what I mean? Being in the four walls of a classroom isn't for everybody.
No, and I appreciate
totally
you.
respect
And
that. So mad props to
I
you.
appreciate you that saying that because this is from like
From zero.
I don't have.
I get it.
I have a single mother.
Yeah.
My daddy's a drug addict, alcoholic, the whole shit, right? So, high school dropout. So I'm literally not supposed to be here, but I
So
appreciate.
you know what? Yes, that's what I used to do. I was head of discipline.
That's dope.
I had a dean under me, and I had an AP. At one point we had like 3 deans. You know, running a whole school in close to Orlando. This was in Davenport. Yeah. So you know, I'm proud of you. And
Thank
so
you,
it's
thank
an
you.
easy transition. Like I usually this is what I say when we're in our classes. I'll
Yeah.
say. I used to work with bratty children. Now I work with bratty adults. The biggest difference is I can spank the adults.
Hell yeah! Like, so you came in, and was BDSM something that you kind of were feeling before?
You know, I'll say it as easily.
Can you get a little bit closer? to the
Yes,
mic?
I'll say it as transparent as possible. I did it very ignorantly. Like, you know, I was married before. I had an ex-wife. I knew that I love my women bound. I love how I like them. I love, you know what I mean, the kind of stuff that I did. But I wasn't as technical as I am now, like learning from then. Now there's procedure involved, you know? And then me being like
Protocol.
the background that I'm in, procedures and protocols is everything. That's what I would tell you. How do I do classroom management? I would say procedures and protocols.
Yeah.
So it's very similar. So being able to translate like what I've already loved into now I do this in a way where I'm learning like technique, protocol, procedures from both of them to also working in this capacity. It's been a beautiful journey, absolutely beautiful. So I've been in discipline like my whole life, but learning like this technique. And I feel like I elevated. Like, it's beautiful. I really am grateful for both of you in Carnival Risque.
So, yeah, that's beautiful. But you guys, so are you? Side question: is you doing the binding and all that? Can that be a fetish as well? Like you?
It is.
Do people
it is a
nut
fetish.
like that? Like that's what
Yes.
I'm trying to get
So
down to. Do people
bound
nut
and
like
binding
that?
is an overall.
So we were saying the difference between a kink and a fetish. Can you explain that too? Because it seems almost like the same thing.
And it could. Kink is a more generalized term for something that is not typical sexual expression.
Okay.
Fetish is a non-sexual item or typical non-sexual item or organ that is necessary for you to achieve sexual arousal. So,
Okay, break it down for me.
so for example, traditionally people,
Player to
people
player.
love clowns, right? You like clowns.
Yeah.
You know, or no, here, you know what? Player to player. There you go. Some people like big tits.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If you can't
Are your
get-
tits or an ass man?
I'm
Is that a
I
good
got
question?
it all, man.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta love. Don't you just love women? They're just beautiful. They're just beautiful.
Artwork.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. Okay. So
yeah,
player to
from
player.
before.
Big
Yeah,
tits.
you know, I just use that
Big
because that's easy.
tits.
But some people, you know,
Back to the big tits.
Back to the titties.
some people just like big tits, like turns them on,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that would be a little bit kinky because you know those are bigger tits. And when I say big tits, I mean like big tits.
Oh,
That
You
Danny.
know what I mean?
outrageously
not just
big.
boobies, but yeah. But now, in order for you for a fetish, like they have to be like that, or else I can't even get turned on. So even though that's a typical sexual organ, but player to player, that's how I would explain it. But for some people who love clowns, there's some people who collect clowns.
Yeah.
There's some people who are afraid of clowns. Then there are
I'm
some
afraid of
people who if clowns have to be involved in order for them to become sexually aroused. So that's a fetish.
Okay, so the fetish is the fact that this particular thing has to happen.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, I'm not getting hard. I'm not nothing.
Yes.
I'm just kind
Is
of
the clown thing like an actual thing? Like
Yes.
you guys okay?
Balloons.
Balloons. That's
so that's a fetish.
Yes.
Now, what's a kink?
A kink is just anything that's not considered your typical sex. Like a kinky likes to get slapped on the ass.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, if I have to get slapped on the ass in order to orgasm, now I have a fetish.
So it all leads back to the orgasm.
Yeah.
something
Or
that
a
has
sexual
to-
arousal. Something has to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. If
For you to
this
get
item
there.
is not involved, I do not get any sexual satisfaction out of it.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean you can't perform or be with your partner, but sexual satisfaction.
I'm
out
kinky
of it.
then. That's not kinky.
I'm kinky.
Because it doesn't have to happen.
No,
You know?
got it.
But if it cool,
But if it does, you're like,
If you have to have your socks on to come, then that's a fetish.
that's so. I cannot have my socks on during relations with a woman.
Not even like hardwood floor if there's
Nothing.
I mean, maybe it's-
Especially not on
said,
the
I like
hardwood
my
floor.
socks on.
I didn't know what I was going with there.
On carpet,
carpet.
you get electrocuted. Hardwood floor, you do the Michael Jackson. So
Yeah.
there's no.
Really, you're right.
no
You're right.
safe.
No, you're right.
Now, see, if you have a kink, you will do
The Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson so that you can generate electrical stimulation, and now you're shocking them while you're doing it. So
they enjoy the electric.
yeah. So now you're just using the socks are not the fetish. The socks are
man,
just
it
a
gets
toy
deep.
or tool that you're using to generate the spark.
Have you ever had a moment that like is like surprised you on what like a kink or a fetish that someone might have?
Oh, on somebody else or
so
me?
many times.
Or like
so you mean personally or that we've seen?
Personally?
Oh, I'd
Or
like to
that
hear
I've
both.
seen?
Both. Yeah, I'd like to hear both.
Okay. You go first, but I already know exactly which one I wanted to like say that I seen that I was like, oh my god, I got to see this.
I don't know if I can.
Okay, I'll say it. Wait, so there's like fetishes, and then I'm a nerd, so I like to categorize like rare fetishes or fetishes you don't see as often. Let's put it into that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is you know this word, I always fuck it up. The one with they like furniture.
Coolrophilia.
So there was a guy.
No, Cornelia, I'm sorry.
It's
coolrophilia.
fernophilia.
I was thinking about clowns. That's cool.
Fernophilia. And there was
Fernophilia.
an event that we were working, and there was a guy there that they had to remove from like an area because he liked it a lot. And that was his fetish. And I
All
was
he
like,
was fucking was furniture.
was furniture.
Where?
at a
Yes,
swinger party.
yes, and that's so to me.
So he was just on his own.
He was on
But
his own.
that's
Right
his-
here,
that's
you
his
see
fetish.
that?
Okay, so you go into
He
the
was
play
just
party,
fucking
right?
Anything that he can like get his.
I was like, oh my God, I got to see
nightmare
this.
at Ashley's furniture.
Oh my god! I bet they got his.
But it's
They got
his
his picture up,
wet
right?
dream.
He's 86 from those places.
He's an exhibitionist too because he wanted to be in a public
public.
space in a playroom.
wants you to see this
So
shit.
I want you
So
to
it's
see me
also
fuck
like
this
a-
couch.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to see that. I got
never
to see
even
that.
like
I
thought
was like,
about that.
If,
Yeah,
if the
pornophilia.
question's not too deep, what was he fucking?
A
couch?
piece of furniture.
It was a table outside.
Oh, a table. I thought it was
Just
outside.
rubbing all, he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
hard as a rock, rubbing on the top, rubbing on the side,
But he
rubbing on
wants
the leg.
everyone to
edge.
see.
And he
Yeah.
wants people to see
He
him.
was
But it
like
wasn't
that.
just that. It
Too.
was like the table, and then over here, like this, whatever this was over here, and then a couple down.
That's
it was
a good
like,
one. That's a good one.
I know I was excited. No, because there's like milestones you reach in your dom career and your king career or whatever. And I felt like I reached a milestone. I was like, I got to see this.
You
Yeah.
got to see
You got to see, right?
fernophilia.
I got
Yeah,
to see
fernophilia.
fernophilia. Eh?
Wow.
Boy, that's a
I see
good-
why
that's
you
a
said
good
you're kind of like you
Let
said
me
you were
see,
like
like,
kind of a
I've
nerd
seen-
with it.
Yeah.
So you get to
Like
cross that one off.
Tell me a good one. Tell me a good one.
Say, tell me a
Achievement
little
unlocked.
bit.
Give me some. the Xbox.
Yeah, that's an achievement.
I've
That's how you're a
seen
nerd.
like
We've seen a
I've
lot.
just seen so much, but
What's
let's
one
see,
that you were
there's
like,
one-
that's pretty tight? Or like another.
I've seen this couple that had like their vagina and their penis fully pierced, and they were just tugging at it, like they were tugging the piercings. They were just going back and forth.
Now I'm jealous. I wish I would have seen that one.
What is that called? Does that have a name specific? Do you know?
They're masochists and sadists at the same time.
Sadist
and masochism.
What's a sadist?
Someone that likes to inflict pain, whether it's emotional or physical.
Oh,
Inflict pain, and a masochist is someone that enjoys pain.
receipt.
And
And
some-
whether
and-
emotional or physical.
Yeah.
There's
Some
emotional.
people like want to
masochists.
cry because you
course.
tell them you're fucking ugly
Yeah.
and worthless,
Yeah.
and they're like, yes.
No way.
Yeah, it's a humiliation. Like some people
I'm not
are really
laughing at
into
your
being
fetish.
human.
No, I'm not laughing at your
It's kind
fetish.
of like
We need you. It's the balance of a life and world.
No, but this is why I want to learn every term so I could address it properly.
Yeah,
Because
there's
you know
people
the
that
people
wanna
deserve
feel
respect for
that.
what they kink or
They,
they
they need
fetish
a
is.
release somehow, and some
Yeah.
people really enjoy like humiliation,
Yeah.
emotional humiliation.
Okay. And what's your
Oh, man,
what's your
I-
doo-doo-doo? Because I'm assuming you were doing this before the Fetish Factory.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yes, I've been doing this for
Well, I have another one.
well over 40 years.
Well
Okay.
over 40 years.
40 years I've been playing the game.
That's
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Are
Holy
orgies?
shit, when
Do
you
those
say it like
exist
that.
for real?
Yes,
Orgies?
They
Yeah.
exist.
orgies.
orgies.
Yes.
Matter of fact, on Bliss Cruise, one of the activities is the orgy referees and how to be a good orgy participant.
How to
And
participate,
how to participate
in
in
an
an
orgy.
orgy.
Okay, orgy participant, right? What are what's the NBA rules to this? What's the whistle like? Hey, that's
No
a
means
foul
no.
on the play.
You gotta talk about it with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No means no. Just because they're
Consent.
there doesn't mean they're available to you.
Yeah.
So consent.
Yeah,
You
consent.
talk
Don't
about
just
all of
touch.
it
Ask
beforehand.
before
Even
you
if
touch.
we're
Wow.
so it's so layered, but down to it in these parties, honestly, you get the least disrespected in these parties than downtown
Yeah,
anywhere,
absolutely.
any city you're at with any
Like at a
ignorant
club
drunk
type
person.
deal.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha,
At
gotcha.
these parties, even though we're obviously like crossing all these boundaries and stuff, it's all with consent and like there's a protocol. Like if you're feeling me, you're not gonna approach me. You're gonna approach my husband first.
That's dope.
And that's like a thing. There's respect. There's like this mutual thing. Obviously, there is the newbies that don't know better, and the veterans.
That
do
was
their
my
job to
question.
educate
Also,
them.
do you have to? Obviously, you got to bring a woman. You can't just show up, just you playboy.
You normally you do, but you pay like triple.
Yeah.
if you go alone.
If you're
Men.
a single male, normally in these events, like you're paying a membership plus $300 at the door, plus
Plus.
the girls are
as a
getting
single
free,
man.
or maybe paying $15 because you want the girls. You don't want a sausage party.
Yeah, nobody likes a
Or
sausage.
the creep, or if you're a unicorn
But-
as a male,
Well, maybe some people like a sausage.
be respectful. Talk to the husband.
Yeah.
Don't be a creep. Don't just if you see somebody playing, don't just get close like and start touching yourself. No, ask that
Yes.
couple if you can do that because they're doing it in public.
I mean,
but doesn't
also-
mean they want you that close touching yourself like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
ask them, can I touch myself while I watch you guys?
Because that it's their privacy in a sense.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Even though they're doing it in public,
Yeah.
you know, if I start getting, we all have that bubble when somebody's in your space. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can start
Social
to feel
distance.
people getting in your bubble.
Yeah.
Which means they're starting to tap into your personal energy.
Mm.
And so, you know, you're about to, these people are sharing sexual energy and you're about to tap into their sexual energy. Consensually, you should say, do you mind if I touch myself
While I watch y'all.
Now, if they say, we don't want you to do that, they didn't say go away. You can still stay there and watch,
But don't.
but don't touch yourself. So, you know, I mean, it's just about asking in advance.
There's so much protocol and respect.
It goes
in
back
this
to when
one.
you said
there's
it's
like a-
unwritten rules.
it could be a
almost,
you thing. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're here because we want somebody to do that, but it doesn't have to be you exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
You know,
right.
like
And
so-
I honestly say that because a lot of people are very intimidating going into swinger events because they think like you walk through the doors and like this fucking or it's all these things happening. Like no, a lot of times you just want an adult time, adult sexy time, no kids, no ignorant stuff. Everyone, not everyone, but they're in their best behavior. Everyone's happy. Like if you want to dance it out and whatever, you don't even have to go all the way to fucking. It's just a
if you're there for the
adult.
vibes.
It's just
Yeah,
an
it's
adult
like
vibe.
the energy that's
There's
there,
no
you know?
ignorant shit that you see in downtown in any city you visit.
like at a club type
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, because
Clubs, there's so
And
much
if they're in
ignorant
a
shit happening.
polyamorous relationship, definitely ask all the partners involved. Like
Yes.
if you know it's not like you're guessing, like you know that this person's with this person, ask everybody involved.
what's polyamorous?
polyamorous, like when you love more than one person, you're in a relationship with more than one person. Like for instance, like how she said you have to ask him, and after him you have to ask me before you can even get to her. You know what I mean? And that's not every situation. But if there's more than one, you gotta ask all the players involved. You know what I mean?
There's layers to this.
Like but for her specifically, you gotta go through 2 first. That's all.
There's layers to this. I like
There's
that.
layers to this.
Just to get a no.
Wait, you were saying you had
Absolutely.
one more, not weird, but one more achievement
Oh
unlocked?
yes.
What?
The one you wanted to say.
The
that you
kink
saw.
or the fetish? I forget which.
that
which
you witnessed.
Well, when I refreshed Piggy, remember Piggy was thirsty?
Oh,
I had a submissive who
okay.
she was Piggy. Her name-
submissive.
Yeah.
What is that?
Lived
Just-
in submissive. She was somebody that served us together. And at some point, she became a lived-in submissive. So she catered to my needs. If he's not around, if he wasn't around to like, there's so much. So
I want
I'm
to know.
his
more.
baby girl. So
I want
as
it
a
all.
daddy, like a daddy role, like he does so much for me. Like cater to me, open my doors,
Take care of your baby girl.
Yeah.
So if he's not around, we
baby girl.
normally
That's what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, when he's not around, like back then when we started, he would train a submissive to do those things if to take place.
Yeah.
And make sure I'm still being taken care of.
Great.
It's just
like-
training is
Yeah.
so good. Like, yeah.
So
training
so fast forward to now, we have a lived-in submissive, and she really loved, and she was a piggy for a lot of reasons. A dirty girl, they're fun.
What's a piggy?
A pig.
Somebody who identifies in BDSM, it's called pet play.
Pet play.
It's and people who identify as a particular style of animal. Like if you've seen Pride Week, you've seen all the puppy masks. that people wear. It's really big in the gay. In a Pride, you'll see people who identify as dogs. Like, you know, dogs are loving and playful, and they're mindful, and they're in the moment. So some people would like to put on a mask, like a puppy or a butt plug, like a tail, and crawl around on the floor, and you want to pet them. They want to say good boy or good girl.
I was about to say, do they want to be treated?
They
like,
want to
As
play. They want to play
pet.
chase. They don't want to be
it's-
treated as a human. They want to be treated
as a pet.
as a
And
she
it's
wanted
a
to be
very
treated.
it's a very wholesome relationship, because how much do you love your puppy at home? So it's kind of like the same but with a human. So you have this really wholesome relationship with them. It's not sexual, but it is like very wholesome, and you keep this person safe. And you
Wait, so you guys weren't sexual with this? If it's
no,
not,
I mean,
But with Piggy,
she was also lesbian, so she didn't really interact with him. It was for me.
for you.
And we.
Greedy bitch.
but she wanted to be treated like.
I'm greedy.
Or,
No, so this is how it worked out. I'm sorry,
I don't
because
want
it
to
was
refer to
more
her
of
as a
my.
pig.
Yeah, but if that's the respect, so piggy is the term for it.
Yeah,
for
I
this
mean,
person.
normally for somebody that it likes like intense kink or like dirty things or like golden showers,
Piss play.
People
People
and
that get peed
people
on.
that get dirtier with their play normally are considered a piggy.
I get it now.
God, I know what it. Yeah,
So
I know.
she was
I know
also
what it is.
someone that cleaned my house, and that she wanted to get like, you know, really down with the dirt, and that's the service like house thing. And also she wouldn't mind if I was like maybe on my period or if I peed, like she just please give me like in that community I'm known as Goddess Els.
Goddess Els.
Goddess Els.
Okay.
So, you know, just having like the goddess nectar and like, please give me more of you, goddess. And like, you know, so she was really deep into that, and she wanted to serve me however she could, from cleaning my house to keeping me comfortable in any club. Like, I would go to a club and she would be my stool. She would get in all fours and I'll sit on her.
I want to go this. Just real quick question, because it's not gonna make. It's not. No, I want to know.
I had to take a video of their faces. They were both like this.
we're gonna get a stool. Is this a fetish now, Piggy? Is like her lifestyle is it now a fetish or a kink or none?
I like the question.
Great question. There's kink and fetish involved. For her particularly, hers was more of a fetish.
Fetish,
Yeah,
right? Because
she had some
needed-
kinks, but in order for her to really feel something, it had to come from goddesses nectar, goddesses, you know, attention, or like it. So yes, it was a fetish.
Like
fetish
yeah,
for her.
she could if we were at a club and I'm sitting down and I told her to lick the bottom of my boot she would gladly in front of whoever.
And does that turn you on at the same time?
Yes. You know, it's very much it's power play.
I was about to say because you also
It's
go by
definitely power
goddess.
play.
So she's a sub, you're a
I'm
dom.
not sexually like,
Yes.
ooh, yeah, I can't wait. No, it's more like, yeah, but like I own you.
Yeah.
Like
Lick my boot.
but it also comes from it's so deep because we're not just owning them just to do that for them. Like it's a much deeper like what I'm doing for her in her life, for her to wanna do that, it's very deep. You know, I was the person that taught her how to like clean, how to cook, how to have self-confidence. I'm like, if you're next to me, you gotta stand up straight, you gotta keep eye contact, you gotta be confident. So I'm helping them in their confidence.
Yeah.
I'm helping them at home on how to fold clothes. This girl couldn't even like hold a broom.
You put her through a boot camp.
So I did.
Yeah.
So you said, I hate to
So
say
because
it. And be mad at me
I
and-
made her
you know,
more
maybe I
like I
won't.
guess whole adult self. Like if I walked away, she already know how to clean her house, do her laundry,
Yeah.
cook, have savings,
Shit.
how to deal with her money and all
Yeah.
this stuff.
BDSM, y'all need to run a 6-week training program.
We do.
We do.
Book us. Book us.
Dude, you know, fast.
Yeah.
No,
This work is not just like I fucking own you, lick my boot just because I say so. No, the stuff I'm doing for you, that
Yeah.
I'm making time because maybe your parents didn't or whatever background you come from, you needed this part of your life to be like you needed some rules and somebody to keep you accountable. I'm gonna do that.
And discipline you
return-
inappropriately and
And in return, you're gonna make my life easy. You're gonna hold my drink when I say so. You're gonna do as I say because I'm making my time that's precious
Yeah.
to help you be a better person.
But at the same time, you're also playing into each other's fetishes because you like being a dom
Right.
and she likes being
But
a
yeah,
sub.
as you can see, the key word here is each other's. There's a
Yeah.
transaction happening.
yeah,
so
for
all
sure,
parties
yeah.
involved are happy.
No, for sure. It
If
doesn't-
They love to do it. They're
and
so
it
eager.
literally
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it's
if
literally
you
called
find yourself
power
in this
exchange.
dynamic and you're submissive and you're new and you find that you keep just giving, serving, doing, and you're not getting anything in return, you're in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Being dressed or labeled as BDSM, and those are what we call sharks. There's a lot of people that abuse others, and it's like I'm your dom. This is BDSM, but really, it's not.
Yeah,
This
it's
person's
not.
young. They don't know any better, and that dom deserves to go to jail because they're not doing this correctly.
Because you're really
I get
like,
very passionate. About
No,
it.
no,
And that's
please,
beautiful. And
please,
because of
please.
that, we offer the Dom vetting service. So, like, if that's happening
Yes.
to you, email us, carnivalrisque@gmail.com. We will vet out your
wow.
Dom for you and let you know if this person is a real deal or after abusing that just to be with you or have that power trip over you.
Yeah, and the,
Yeah, we do that.
Book us.
the
Again, book
BDSM,
us.
the BDSM community really tries to police itself. So a good dominant, when they, of course, there's relationships fall out, but if a good player, a good dom, then he will be able to say, I've played with this person, and feel free to ask them. Because in the community, if you're playing correctly,
References.
you're playing.
References.
That's exactly
And
you
if
get
your
it.
dom gets offended because you want to get references from that
That's
dom,
an
that's a
immediate,
red
yo.
flag.
An ego trip.
Yeah, because it's
That's
like,
a red
why
flag.
wouldn't
You're
you
just
want
an
to provide
abuser.
that?
We're-
Using a lifestyle. Those are the people that give our community a bad name.
Yeah, because honestly, you think BDSM and you just think tying up and spanking, but there's so much more to it
so
now
much.
that I'm now
It's so
learning
deep.
that
Yeah.
it's crazy. Okay, so back to you real quick. Before the fetish, what was the store called one more time?
Fetish Factory.
Fetish Factory. You were mixing around at parties. Always kind of involved in the scene. How did you figure this out about yourself that this is what you enjoyed?
Wow. Well,
Is it something that you're always finding out something new about
oh,
yourself?
you
Go to your
always are
file.
finding out new things about
You know?
yourself. Yeah, but my initial, when we start to hit puberty and we start to get interested in sex and sexuality, I found that I had certain proclivities. There are certain things that turned me on that apparently didn't turn on the people around me. They were like, what do you, when somebody would get hurt,
Again,
turns
going
me
back
on.
to and going back to at the time, the community probably made you feel weird, like people always
Oh
do
my God,
about this.
so
And I'm
yeah.
sure there's a lot of people out there like this.
Yes.
Yes.
So you would have these certain feelings and you don't know really how to address them. When you're 15, 16, 17 years old, you don't really know how to address them. So that's when I knew I was different sexually. than a lot of other folks. And then when you find that out, you want to learn about yourself. Then I was fortunate enough to be in an environment where sex was okay to talk about. And so I had an opportunity to do some research and found out, okay, there are other people who are like me, which is tougher. Because now, remember, 40 years, there was no internet, we didn't have that kind of stuff. So finding out information for me to really learn about my sexuality was really difficult. Nowadays, you can BDSM, boom,
find a party or somebody that does something.
But with that, there's a lot of misinformation. So don't think everything you read in Google is the right information.
Do me a favor and just stay away from Twitter. That's it. Just stay away from Twitter. You want to learn, book a professional.
And stay away from 50 Shades of Grey. That is not where you learn.
So it's almost, okay.
I'm adding Reddit on the list too. Pa fuera.
Pa fuera.
50 Shades of Grey, no good? Kama Sutra? What about Kama Sutra?
Kama Sutra is a completely different
sex.
expression.
That's not
That's
kink.
Okay, that's not. Okay.
50 Shades of Grey, they just really romanticize an abusive relationship.
I was going to say it was abusive.
And just because you're a millionaire
abusive,
doesn't give you the right to do anything.
I never watched the movie.
Well, there's a particular scene, right, where he meets this girl, and then this girl, they have a poor interaction, and then she comes home, and her apartment is to the ceiling with red roses, right?
Okay.
All over. Beautiful. Sounds like a beautiful gesture, right? And then the guy walks around the corner. You're like, we just met. You broke into my house. You have all this stuff, if you're just, you were just some hustler and you had a local job and, you did that stuff. You're working down at, Burger King, McDonald's. Yeah. You did that. I'm sure it's going to go over. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
To jail.
Yeah.
Well, it was a cute gesture. It was
unwarranted.
There was no consent.
No consent was there. It didn't ask you if
there was no previous relationship where it's you could have felt okay with doing
You're
this.
stalking me.
Yeah,
you know where I live. No.
That's
but because
great.
you have a helicopter, it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a good depiction of BDSM, but we are grateful that the community, not the community, but that's society began to embrace it because it kind of started to bring up the questions, and now we had a platform or a larger platform to really start educating people.
We are grateful for that.
Because now people are asking questions.
It opened the door for conversations.
Yeah.
Especially even at the school level when the books first came out, I had my para teachers reading it on their phones,
wow.
You know what I mean? After hours, whatever.
Yeah.
We hang out after school.
Yeah.
And they're reading it hooked, and it's just you can read about it, love it. It opens a door for conversation, but do your research, seek professionals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
If you want a good movie reference, they showed me The Secretary.
The Secretary.
You know what I mean? The
Secretary.
Secretary
That
was a
movie
great
right there.
one. That's
a good
a
one?
true
The Secretary,
representation of
yeah.
BDSM. Watch it. Nope, watch it. It's a surprise.
What year is this?
I think 2002.
2002. James
The
Spader.
Secretary. That movie is fire.
And I
Really?
think Maggie Gyllenhaal was in it.
Maggie Gyllenhaal, James Spader.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
James Spader.
Is Maggie Gyllenhaal pretty? I don't know.
Yeah,
She's the secretary.
She's a secretary.
But
Secretary.
it's cool.
But you know what? You want to get a little generalized idea about it. You'll get a pretty good idea.
Also,
about
of course, it really, who you are in the office, kink and the stuff. It really did.
It was a great one.
Hey.
Oh, she's very pretty. Yes, she is pretty. Yes, very
Watch
pretty.
it and you'll have a
And
better
another
understanding of
show is
dynamics.
funny. Another show is called Bonding.
Bonding.
And
Netflix.
The first
Hulu?
season,
the
not
first
so much.
season garbage, and you could tell they got a pow from real people in the lifestyle. What y'all, we appreciate you trying to take us out of the closet, but also you missed the mark.
Yeah.
So you can tell that they got their education, and then season 2,
It got better.
yeah,
Way
season
better.
1, oh my god, it's funny and cool, but
not as a reference point. Season 2, a much better depiction of real BDSM activities
with protocols and
yeah.
real stuff.
Okay, I had a side question for you because you mentioned you've been 40 years, right?
Yeah.
But no internet, nothing, right? Yeah. So have you ever been to a party that was sketchy or an event that was sketchy and you were like,
oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Really?
I think we probably thought of the same exact one. Are we talking about
We
that?
literally showed up and I was like, I'm not sitting anywhere and I can't wait to leave.
May I ask why?
The facility was dirty.
It was just dirty dust. There people are exchanging fluids. People are half naked. Dust your space. Clean. So if
you don't dust this for a week and then a girl sits on it,
so I can only imagine.
and you can see
The
Oh yeah.
Yeah, school.
what did Drewski call it? That splooge
And we literally
juice?
showed up. Like the person that threw the party, it was their birthday, and we were like, okay, we'll show love. And I was like, okay, happy birthday, bye. I was
Wow.
I'm out of here.
nah.
Yeah,
we don't say names or where, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
fair.
That's.
You'll never
I
see
bet you
them
had to go through a couple
and
sketchy
you,
ones.
yeah, oh yeah,
before
and
got
you know
some-
what? Even
and
today you
also,
have to.
Very important. Do not out anyone in the community.
Out?
That's the number one.
Oh, like
rule.
they like.
Don't out them.
Right.
They
Yes.
like King. They like BDSM.
If I met you at a fetish party and you're doing whatever you're doing, and I see you in daytime, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you know when you were.
Remember when you nutted in saran wrap?
and then made her eat it.
Yeah.
We actually had ones where somebody that didn't like him took pictures of our social media and tried to show his boss.
Really?
They just didn't count on the fact that we partied with his boss.
I already know.
She's already had him bent over.
But the fact that they tried
Yeah,
to
that's
do that,
crazy.
Yeah,
like
that's not
that's
cool. Because you want it to be a safe space for people.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
like we said, this is something that people might like, but they don't want to be out there because
Right.
the world might look at them
Yes.
differently or whatever, right?
Oh, the world does look at you
We're a
differently. The
safe
moment that
space.
you find out that you like to be smacked, you like to be tied up, you like to be called what? Even your best friends immediately go, what? Like, I didn't know that about you, which causes immediate shame and face. So yeah, if they're not in the community and you don't know that they're out like that, you
just don't.
keep on walking. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you. You're just another face on the street,
Yeah, because you don't even know if the person, like if they're whoever's with them knows anything. Oh, where did you meet them?
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I feel like the slogan for the BDSM community should be "Don't knock it till you try it."
Yeah.
Yes, 1,000.
Because what we were saying about you, like you find out, I guess, all the time that you
All the
have
time.
you have kink. So how do you do that by trying it, or
Yeah.
has it always been a thing, or like? Because like how do you like? I'm gonna put that latex on.
I'll put that later.
You know?
Well, for me, I am intellectual. So for me, I like to really understand the science behind why stuff happens.
Okay.
So at first, latex didn't look like it looks great and it looks sexy.
Well, yeah,
and
yeah.
it looks
Angelina
amazing.
Jolie wore one.
Yeah.
One time.
Oh man. Yeah.
Was
So
it
in all the
Cynthia?
superhero movies, I mean, they all look amazing.
Yeah, it looks
right.
good.
But for me to put it on, like, But then when I did some research about it, see what happens is that rubber it smothers the skin, right? So our bodies are our biggest sexual organs. We have to interpret our environment. So when you're smothering the skin, all of a sudden the nerves can't. You're deadening the nerves. So the blood starts pumping a little bit, pushing your nerve endings to the top of the skin, trying to interpret your environment. So now that's why she says when you rub it, it feels so good because you get this little layer of sweat and lube in between you and this limiting. But what rubber does is you're 10 degrees? 10 degrees colder or whatever the regular temperature is.
Yeah.
It
Whatever the
depends,
environment is. But when when somebody touches you like this, it's nice.
like,
But
oh my
imagine
God.
that your nerves are on fire and now somebody just touches
Oh,
you
so
like
the
that.
feel feels better.
Oh
yeah.
my
man.
god, you will catch yourself like you don't even need nobody to touch you. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah, you just
my
rub.
God.
I see. If you have latex
is
pants on,
great.
you just sit here just like this thing.
Dude, I honestly for a long time thought it was just a visual thing. Like people just got attracted to looking at it. I didn't know that it did anything
And
to your
it
body.
gets so
And it
deep
has a
because it's
smell.
rubber. It has a smell.
Yeah.
It has a sound. Is so even the sound. It's like a religion. Like people that have like locks or even gauges. There's like a process and the thing like Buddhist or Rasta. Like they have like this process. So rubberist from the sound to the way you're putting them on, the smell. It goes all the way deep. When you get deep in the rubber space and you see like these magazines, movies and stuff, like they go all the way to like gas masks and like there's not a lot of like there's not much talking, is feeling.
Yeah.
And like breathing each other's like air and like
gas masks that connect to one another.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yes.
While you're encased in latex.
There's even like underwear that both like male and female can put on. Like the female puts it on and there's a sleeve that goes in, and the males it's like their underwear but there's a sleeve to fill like
Fill
the
it
penis
on.
in. So when they're having intercourse, it's just rubber to rubber.
Like your body's fully encased.
Whoa.
There's also vacuum beds where they like put you like tight in it, and then people are rubbing you when you're
vacuum
in it.
bed.
Yeah. So
you're
into
bound.
bondage.
Vacuum sealing yourself.
You're a human vacuum.
Yes, you vacuum
And
seal
you're
yourself.
breathing through like a tube.
Today you're
And
my
then
chicken.
there's people rubbing all of you, and you're just like
Nothing in this vacuum
overstimulated.
Damn. I'm just running all through the cracks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait. I need one.
Okay.
I need
So
a vacuum
do you
bed.
guys have all this equipment? You guys?
Well, I need a vacuum bed. So
Yeah,
if
we
you're out
need
there,
a vacuum bed. But
I bet this is not something you just go to Walmart.
if you want to see our OnlyFans with a vacuum bed, just go ahead and purchase that.
You just can't get it at Target aisle A13.
no. You got to order those online. So.
Yeah, I can't wait. I need my rubber here.
Wow. So that's. I'm thrown off by the vacuum bed. You fit the whole person in the vacuum and you vacuum seal and they
And
touch
they
it.
breathe.
So it becomes
but
a
the vacuum
latex.
bed is rubber. So now remember, we've encased you in rubber. Now, you
Everything.
can't move. So your body goes into
Bound.
fight or flight. So what happens? It starts pumping those feel-good chemicals into your bloodstream going, oh my God, fight or flight. I can't move. I can't get away. So mentally, your body's working. Am I going to die? So it starts dumping those chemicals into your body. Now, because remember we talked about the nerve endings are all on the surface of the skin.
Yeah.
So rubbing the leg like that now or rubbing across
feels
it,
way different.
way different. So you're getting more of those chemicals.
Because those chemicals are constantly pumping and now the feeling feels better.
That and because the nerves are firing so much harder, really searching for input. So so you have the feel-good chemicals. Your nerves are working harder, making you feel better than you normally would or more intensely. And if you do it with the breathing tube, when you breathe, it affects the way, you get conscious breathing and subconscious breathing and Jared's breathing. So those different kinds of breathing also affects the kind of chemicals.
So it could almost be like a trip.
It is a trip.
Yeah. We should get it.
It is called subspace.
Try it out.
That trip is called subspace.
Subspace. Does it mentally do something for you as well? Like do you feel like something like
Oh my God, when you take someone into subspace, like that power, like that, to see somebody just like melt because of what you're doing to them, and you're fully dressed, like it's so beautiful.
We're talking about that brainwave state.
dressed?
Once you get to that zen, that peak. So you've taken somebody to that peak
in a vacuum bag,
in
fully
a vacuum
dressed.
bed, fully. They're probably naked in the vacuum bed.
Okay.
No,
But you're
they're
fully-
naked, but like
okay, got
but
it.
the power and that satisfaction that you can do that with just.
But now they're
accomplishing-
in that space.
Yeah.
And if you want to go even deeper, remember layers. Now we're going to put on a blindfold. So now you don't even have your eyesight available to you. So
When
now
you
it's
take
like
away-
living in it's like being in a what is that? Isolation chamber. So now you start to have visuals. So it's a trip.
When you
you
take
get into
away
fight or
one
flight
sense,
again
the
'cause
other
you're
one's
scared.
enhanced.
Yes, and so you get more of those dumps and more.
This is
and
a
your
trip.
brain
This is a trip.
just keeps elevating, and it keeps taking it. And the reason that subspace is so amazing because it's like that meditative space, that space where you are everywhere and nowhere.
Somewhere
It's
between
the same
somewhere and
chemicals
nowhere.
that your brain releases when you're tripped, like when you're on ecstasy and stuff. So we're manipulating those same chemicals without the use of drugs, alcohol.
Wow.
It's powerful.
Wow. So I guess my next question would be like, how do you in your business weed out the weirdo? Like, I don't want to call them weird, but no, the weirdos that are in this just to like,
For the wrong.
You can spot
for the
them
wrong
a mile
reasons,
away.
you know?
When you're
Spot
really
them
in
a
it, you
mile
can
away.
spot
like it's
them
just a
a
dude
mile
trying to
away.
like pay for like sex type
Yeah,
shit.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
that's
Like-
Nah,
they're
a smell-
so easy.
Okay, you can smell it.
You can usually get them on the
A
first
BDS
couple of nomenclature. Just saying
Yeah.
a few things.
Yeah.
So you're a
B-
top or a bottom or something.
Sorry, no, you go ahead. I'm just.
You're a top or bottom something. They go, they look at you like that. You immediately know. You don't even know the language. I'm
The
speaking.
lingo that you haven't even looked into this.
Yeah.
You're just a dude. Like,
Yeah.
go to a massage
Right.
parlor.
A BDSM session there shouldn't be any sex, because then that's now like you're paying for that, and that's prostitution.
Yes. Yes.
That's why
different.
BDSM is legal.
Shout out to the sex workers out there. Mad
Yeah.
respect for the hustle that you got. Just not us.
It's just definitely not what you get. Even though you can come, if I'm doing these things to you and it feels so good you're coming, then good for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But don't expect, a professional dom to fuck you when you're paying for that service, because that's not what it is.
That goes back to weeding out the businesses also, because now it's people that are going into business to try to
100%.
fuck people,
Right.
and it's like not even about that. Yeah.
Correct.
It's like a lot of times the porn producers. There's so many porn producers, but really it's because
Yeah. The casting couch.
okay.
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
Yeah, the casting. Yeah, that's crazy.
And
Like, they need that camera.
we are in the sex work business. There's no shame of any
Right.
kind. It's just there are just two different lanes.
Two different.
That's
different.
all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand. How did you get into the fetish
Dun, dun, dun.
side of things?
So I was a college student, and
In Orlando?
in Fort Lauderdale, where the store Fetish Factory is.
It's in Fort Lauderdale.
And at the moment, it was actually I just fell into it. I was a college student, had just broken up with my boyfriend.
you knew you were
homeless.
kinky and
No.
Okay.
I'm literally telling you how.
Okay.
So here I am, college student, homeless. I like living off of like my car. Like this happened in like a week, and then I applied everywhere around the area, like my school, my dorms, and I was applying to every store. I had just moved down from New York, so I was like, and I've always had the mentality of like, I don't ever want to work for anybody, but if I do work for something, it has to be cool. I don't want to work on like McDonald's or Publix or what is it, Roger?
What?
Like a
Winn-Dixie?
a grocery
Ralph's.
store.
Ralph's.
Ralph's.
Rogers.
I love that.
Something cool. So I go into the store that was right like in the backyard of the dorms of the school I was going to at the time, and I was like, "What is this place? It smells cool because the latex smells a certain way." The wigs, the this, and I've always been into fashion and stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is it!" It's like a people like Hot Topic.
Yeah, on steroids.
On steroids, yes. So I was like, I'm gonna get a job here, and I was so persistent. It's so hard to actually get a job there. I just thought it was a cool store selling leather and cool things.
Yes, yeah.
I had no idea about the parties, and nothing.
Oh.
And so, but I was very persistent. When you lived in New York, you know how to get you a job. So
Yeah.
I got me that job, and literally with the first month, like labeling, tagging like books and toys, and the people coming in asking, like in the job interview, they asked me, "Are you okay talking to men about their prostate?" And I was like I kept my cool. Like, yeah, of course I'll talk to
Why
you.
was that a question?
Because the toys that are sold in there, we're gonna talk about your prostate one day or another.
What do you mean talk like size or
Because there's toys that massage your prostate, so men can come
When
in
we
there.
say anal, and when we say men have an anal orgasm, it's through their prostate being stimulated through their anus. So for men to have an orgasm with their anus, their prostate needs to be massaged. So people will come in and like, what size are you? What size is your ass? And what kind of
there's
What
ass
size do you
size.
want?
yeah, what size do you want?
All
So
these
you
things-
know that's why we're going to talk about your prostate. We're going to talk about what size toy we're going to insert in
insert in there?
So even starting from
guessing
that
you can't try these
interview,
on.
I kept my cool, but inside I'm like, why are they asking me about this? But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I want to work here, so yes, I'll talk to whatever man about their
I'll
prostate.
do whatever I gotta do.
And so tagging books, magazines, and then also they're like, also you have to sell this party when people come in, you have to tell them that we throw a party every second Saturday of the month. So I did my job. I studied, how to sell this party, but never nothing. I've been like kind of exposing myself through just working there. Like before we sealed the books, I'm going through them like, what the fuck is this?
What going through what though? Like what?
Like
do you,
books,
magazines.
Oh,
and
magazines.
Books
Okay.
of
instruction.
kink, like art ones, educational ones. We're getting all this product, and I have to label them. I'm a sales associate. I'm labeling all these things. I'm like, this is like a whole world. This is not just a cool leather store. This is like a whole world.
Because these are informative books and just
So
different.
like month 2, I'm seeing the kind of people that are walking in, the kind of questions, like puppies, people with collars, the things and that, and I'm like asking those questions. And finally I was just like fed up with like, I'm done selling a party. I don't even know what party we're talking about. I'm like, you know what? I need to go to this party. I need to grow balls and go to this party and see what's up. And so I bought my first latex dress, because you have to be like dressed up to
and
go.
gear, like you
So
said.
I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna at least I'm gonna look the part and then go. And I went to my first party, and it's funny because they have the normal party, and then they
a few
like,
times a year.
a few times a year they have the extreme fetish party.
after hours.
After hours.
After hours for the
After hours.
Yeah, it was the after hours for the after
And
hours.
I want to hear what this is all about. But let's
And I
continue
don't
on
do
here.
anything little, so I guess I don't know. I finally said I'm doing it, and I my very first one was the extreme fetish party. But also because I'm so good at
Pero te llama la atención.
I'm like these people are just living and no one's judging and it's cool and it's awesome and the vibe was great and the music was cool. People are dancing, no one's judging. It was just beautiful.
Okay.
And also not just that, like I got a lot of love because I really took my job serious with people's looks. I was like the overachiever. I love styling, I love fashion, and so I was the girl, like I walked in and every girl that I helped with their outfits, oh my God, babe, this is the girl. She made me look so fabulous. You want a drink? You want a drink? So I'm walking through this party like, oh, everyone knows me. They love me. They want to buy me drinks. This is cool. This is fun. Everybody. And I was just like it just took me in and
It was
I
a
just
world
felt
of love.
the love
Yeah.
and I felt like I wasn't the popular girl growing up. Like I was too artsy to be the cool kid and I was too cool to be with the artsy kids. So I was in this limbo, like, so being in this space where I'm like, every 5 steps, it's like, oh my God, I love my outfit. You make me feel amazing. This is great. Like, here's a drink. Here are my friends. Here's
Comfort,
all of
acceptance,
this. I was just
all
like,
of it. Yeah.
I'm home.
Yeah.
And so I literally went to the first party and I just never looked back.
Wow.
And then out of those, I saw this man right here.
At an extreme or just a regular?
I saw them.
Yeah,
He made sure.
I went every
He
month.
made sure you saw him.
What's the...
I have an
Okay,
exhibition. I have an exhibition fetish or kink.
This man, like, yes, I used to see him. People would just break like space for him
Moses.
to walk, and he will come in with like the big husky like toolbox with the wheels. So
those are my
he's going
toys.
in like big boots, big chain, big thing, and like his freaking toolbox. He like picks a corner. Everybody makes way. He's plugging in. He brought his own extensions for things
Gotta come
like for
prepared.
electroplay,
Gotta come prepared.
vibrators, his whole, and he played all night. And it was like turning and burning all these girls. And not just that, he would bring like bad bitches, like beautiful girls. And every time there was no
Play it.
Don't get shy out there. Don't get.
every
Hey, it makes you feel good to hear there you go. When your wife talks about you like that, it makes you feel good, you know? Shit.
So and every time the stage didn't have a go-go dancer or a performer, he would go out there and be
And
like, "You're
exhibit.
gonna see
yeah,
me."
you've been watching them now.
So I used
So that's
to
a
be
kink
like,
for you.
It is a kink for me.
Yeah.
Not a
I mean,
fetish because it doesn't have to happen.
Yeah, I do enjoy being on.
I love that. Look at you.
I-
Taking
I-
note.
Yeah.
I enjoy putting my power on display.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the difference?
really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be. What's the difference
never
between
had
an extreme and a regular
What?
party at the Fetish Factory? What was the difference between an extreme party and a regular party?
The intensity of that, like you were telling, like at a regular fetish party, you might see you will see somebody being roped up and tied up and being hung upside down and getting a flogging. Or getting spankings. In the extreme party,
You see
they're
more.
taking those to like the now we're using full on whips and
Like
blood's
you can
happening.
probably see blood.
That's the extreme.
And that's the extreme.
Got
Because people they take their kinks a bit more
Extreme.
Let's level up.
They just level up,
Wow. So
playing your game on easy, and then you move
Because
up to
if
hard.
it's labeled as extreme and you're new, like leave if you're uncomfortable. Because
Yeah.
this is the space where the extreme players, the people that have been playing for a while,
veterans
can
type.
unleash and not feel like they're scaring the newbies.
Because we
judged
also
like that.
we don't want to scare the newbies, so you don't want them seeing some of that stuff because they have no context in which they're seeing it.
yeah.
So once they've seen some of the regular parties, which are still pretty intense, they're intense.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're awesome. They're intense, but it's still we don't want to see somebody. Seeing somebody hung with being tied up and hung, and then seeing somebody with the hooks. See the difference.
And
One is a
like,
bit more extreme, but the concept is the same. It's about being bound and suspended.
It's just that level up.
Yeah,
It's just the level up. Okay. So to you real quick, Daphne.
Achievement.
And then so you get introduced to her at what's the event called again?
Girls in Wonderland.
Girls in
In
Wonderland.
Orlando.
She had been working very hard, and I thought she needed a weekend out. So
Okay.
she went to this and go spend time with you. You like girls? Go spend time with the girls.
With the girls, okay.
Yeah, I was hired on like as an influencer for the event, so I was like out there like promoting, hanging out, whatever. And a homie actually introduced us.
You
Us
guys.
too. Like my homie also was an influencer at the event, so she introduced us. Like,
Shout out to Rage.
Yeah.
Hey.
And how do? Because I'm assuming you didn't do any BDSM before, or did you? Was it something that you kind of
remember? So backtrack. Well, I did it ignorantly with my ex-wife, right? So
yes,
like I said, I didn't know what I like. Like, so my ex-wife, I gagged her, tied her, had her on her knees, did all kinds of different things. You're gonna do this when I say you do it. Here's a reward. Da da da. The concepts were there, but I would say it's almost like, when you go to school in college, and then when you go for like your doctorate degree, like you get your concepts, and then after, or even like your associates to your masters, right?
Yeah.
You go to a next level. You learn the why is this, the who's, the what's, the how, the protocol. I was tying her up, but I didn't know that if I tied her too tightly here, she can get limp wrist, and there's things that happen. I was just doing what I liked because I liked it, and she also did too. So I did it in a different capacity. Now it's
unknowingly.
a whole different ballgame.
So you get introduced to it. You find out because I'm assuming each one of you, I don't want to say has a label, but there's something that like you like the most, right? So like you're an exhibitionist.
Oh,
In
In
Kink?
that particular thing, I mean,
We're
I have a lot
all
of different
exhibitionists.
I'm
we
all-
share that in common.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
So you-
greedy.
perform,
I'm all.
yeah.
I play hard on both sides.
I think the question you might be asking me is something we haven't touched on is the dominance and submission. And the top and bottom. I think that's where you were going.
Yeah,
with that
that's
question.
what I'm trying
Yeah,
to
what
ask.
do I like doing? And the difference is as a dom or sub, we also call them top and bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
So a dominant sub traditionally has some sort of relationship, where a top and a bottom is we're going to have this relationship, this exchange moment, but just for a moment. So these are top and bottom and dominant.
That's
sub.
like the role you're playing at that moment.
Yes, and then there's the switch, somebody who likes both. Oh, but you're asking me, you're presuming that since we all, like doing stuff to people,
but you should
do
be
we
dom.
also like to be. So we're all doms.
We're all doms.
We're all switches. But I only switch for them.
And the same. I only ever switch. Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like spanking me, you're not gonna see anybody out there spanking me except for these two. They're the only. Yeah, absolutely not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which also is
But
BDSM opens that relationship with her.
Yeah,
So
we're
her and I
dominant
have
to
this.
everyone else. Yeah.
I mean, because it is sex energy, and I'm giving her a great spanking.
Yeah.
That's my partner. I'm loving on my partner's ass.
BDSM
without having-
partner, yeah.
Without
Yeah,
having,
I mean, and even in like learning to be a better dom, like why not learn from the best? You know what I mean? If I'm spanking someone and I was doing it ignorantly before, now I can learn the aspect. You gotta be able to go through the motions to be able to know what the other person is feeling and
Wait,
going
you can
through.
spank
You know what I
wrong?
mean?
It ain't just a.
We see.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No, it's more
But
than that.
did you just see the one I just gave you?
Stuff.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
No,
Say
what
I'm
you gave me.
taking notes.
There's a wrong way to do it.
And then we do say like you can't be a good dom without being a good submissive.
And why is that?
Because you gotta understand
What
the body.
you're
to be a
receiving
leader,
in
you gotta
order
be
to
a
get.
follower.
Yeah.
100%. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And then,
Like you gotta be humble enough to understand. Like if you don't know what a paddle feels like, how you gonna know how to strike this person with the paddle when you don't know?
yeah.
You can really hurt somebody.
But dom doesn't technically have to be all about like striking or hurting.
It doesn't.
Like,
Right,
does
you're
it?
right.
Like it
Same,
could be
same
like.
thing with the mental though, right?
Yeah.
I can
can't
still hurt
go-
you with that.
Yeah.
And
can't
then
go too
there's
far.
there's
That's
people
what I was gonna
that
say. Emotionally, also like whatever,
there's
like-
people
But
who crave to be submissive. There's people like our DMs, you know what I mean? There's people who crave like I want someone to lead me. I want someone to own me. I want someone to serve. That's in them already.
The sub.
That's in a sub. And the same with the dom. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that with like a super super wealthy person that has people serving them all day, they're in power and they have like people serving them in their home. And then I have the experience where this person, it was their first time in a scene, for their wife. It wasn't even for him. But then like in the middle of it, he like put himself like, oh, can I please?
His wife was there. You said.
Yeah, it was like a birthday gift for his wife. And it's a super wealthy person.
Oh, is this our scene with the couple?
What scene,
we
by
don't
the
say
way?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
What is scene in particular?
Bleep that up.
No, I wasn't going to say names. A scene is actually the amount of time you're playing.
Okay.
So you for
Like a scene in a
Like
movie.
playtime, yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
like specifically to that aspect. Like, let's say that part of the movie is just specifically like you getting spanked or whatever the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
Scene. And then
because
scene's over.
BDSM does have that. It has a beginning, which is the negotiation and the consent and the talk. And
So this
of
is
that
all
stuff.
part of it.
So
Yeah.
it's a scene. So we first have to have the conversation. So we have the
Negotiation,
conversation.
yeah.
It's called a negotiation. And after we've negotiated the parameters of our playtime, what toys we're going to use, how do you want to be touched, what are you going to do for me, what are your positives and negatives, reinforcements going to be.
Yeah.
And then after all of that, and you take that person to that space, you have to provide them aftercare. And
Aftercare being
aftercare is after you've hit that high, you're gonna come down. Your body, I've literally grown in and pulled all of those chemicals out of your body and put them into
you
your
gotta come
bloodstream.
down.
And
So
your
you're gonna come
temperature's gonna
down.
drop.
Your
You
body
probably
temperature
need to cuddle.
drops. You're gonna need to
You need a fuzzy blanket, whatever makes you feel fuzzy, warm, and yummy.
lots of
So-
water to start washing the lactic acid out from any sore muscles or stressful positions. You might have been in.
Reassurance, telling that person I'm proud of you. You were so sexy. This was so hot.
wow.
I
What were
can't
you
wait.
saying though? Yeah, I want to go back to the
So
story you were telling.
back to what I was
Yeah.
saying. This person super wealthy, like used to being served and probably never being a submissive in this like at all. But
In
here
life
we
at
are.
all,
He
yeah.
booked us for his wife, and he's in the middle of it. And he literally like something in his brain, like just like I want to be a part of this. And the way he spoke to me was so submissive and beautiful and respectful. Like he knew how to speak to me because he's used to being served, and he knows, like he trained his own like service
Yeah.
or staff.
Wealthy people.
Super wealthy. He's probably not being a submissive. He has people serving him. So now here he is talking to me, first time in that position himself, but knowing exactly how to talk to me as a dominant in that moment. And it was just so beautiful to watch how he just knew how to talk to me as a service or servant or like submissive person.
Yeah.
Just because he's so used to being served, and he knows how he wants his servants to talk to him.
Yeah.
So he knew
He's
exactly.
giving you that same respect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just you guys were talking about being a good dominant
And a
good
good
submissive
sub.
and how
Yeah.
they both
intertwined with each other.
yeah.
How you got to be
if
switched
you know how to
almost.
be one, then the other one you're probably good at that one too.
Yeah. So all three of you guys are doms
Yes.
typically, but you switch for each other only.
Yes.
Okay, so you've
Yes.
never switched for anybody else?
I'm more of I will switch more. Like normally there's protocol. If I have like with him and there is somebody that I saw and I was like, oh my God, what they're doing is awesome, then I will ask, can I please
Yeah, like at some of these parties, for example, somebody will have set up a wax station where we're going to pour hot wax on you, and I didn't bring my wax, or I don't feel like doing it at this moment, but I know this person, I've vetted them, I've seen them play, I know what kind of player they are, and she loves wax play. The respect between him or her and I, whichever, male or female, whoever that person is going to be the dom. So she'll have a scene with wax with this other person. So
if I ask correctly and if I've earned it and
it's-
stuff with that within the dynamic.
Yeah. within
And
the-
also, like with
So that-
rope, I'm a huge
Yeah.
rope bunny.
Rope.
Like if you're good at rope timing.
Really? I don't want to ask you guys like what you guys like because I don't want to go too in
That's
depth
into it. That's when we
you know,
first
but-
met at Girls in Wonderland. That was like one of the very first conversations that we had the very next day when we found each other. Because I have a tattoo of a rope bunny on my side, and she saw it, and she was literally the first thing that kind of gave me like a little clue of what into this world. Because I didn't know when I met her. I didn't know until
Yeah.
like way later.
She actually didn't know who I was
At all.
in
So-
my world.
It was fun like getting to know later. So then she had said, well, she's like, oh man, rope touches me and I just melt. I'm a total rope bunny, a rope bottom. And I was like, man, as a rigger, that's like music to my ears.
May
Music.
I ask? You're a rigger, so what's that like? Putting
People who like to do rope or like to tie. So for me, it doesn't matter. Like remember earlier when pants.
yeah.
It doesn't matter what I use as long as you're bound. Chef's kiss. I'm happy. You know what I mean? I've
Electrical
used all kinds of
cable.
stuff. It don't matter. Anything.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, this cord right here. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? As long as you're bound, I'm happy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then reverse. What does it do for you?
What? Which
The
part?
rope, being rope bound. Like, what does it do
As
to
being
you?
a rope bunny?
Like
I
rope
just-
bunny. Is it the
I mean,
texture of the
one-
rope? Is it what is it in particular?
Like I've been very spoiled in my journey in BDSM because I've always have had access to like the top. Like he's my first dom, and like he
The
and my
dom,
first
baby.
rope top, because he doesn't do rope. It's like very triggering for him, and it's just not
Yeah.
So I've had a rope top for almost the same years that I've been in his life, and he's one of the best also in the country
At rope tying.
at rope tying, suspending. Like, you can put me in a pretzel and suspend me, I'm in la la land. Like, and rope is just awesome for so many ways, not just sexual. Like, if you have like a racing brain that doesn't stop, and then all of a sudden you're bound, literally what that does is sends that signal to your brain, like, oh my god, we're bound. So now you're focused on what's going on, and like your brain starts to quiet.
You're more present.
You're present.
You have to be.
Yeah.
So like, I have tied some of my submissives or clients, that are nervous to get on an airplane. Before an airplane ride, I will do a harness under their clothes, and that gives them, like, they're calm. They're
Keeps
no
their
longer
mind.
having an anxiety attack.
Their body is biologically, because it's creating that consensus of fight or flight in the background.
Yeah.
It's steadily supplying those calming chemicals into your bloodstream while she's on this flight. So she's getting reassurance
That it's all right.
and her body is just doing that.
Yeah. Do you have to airport security know about that? Like, before?
It's rope. It's not metal.
Because I don't know if it
If they ask, like,
have no idea.
if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
ask, I'm kinky. Like, what am I? It's
Yeah.
rope.
Yeah. Okay.
It's under my sweat.
Yeah.
It's under your sweats or under your dress clothes or whatever.
And obviously, it's a safe harness. It's not like I'm bounding you in a way that your joints are in danger.
Cutting
or
off
anything.
circulation.
Yeah.
No, or
Yeah.
and it's something, obviously I'm not with them on the ride, so when they get there they can take it off themselves. But
Yeah.
it just is really used to calm them down.
I bet that does, like, the tying, not only taking the sexual aspect away from it, I bet it builds a lot of trust between a
Oh my
couple
God.
as well, because it's like, not only am I trusting you to tie me up to this motherfucker, I'm trusting you to take me down from this motherfucker as well.
healthy without my
hurting,
joints and my nerves being compromised or anything. So BDSM relationships are much stronger than any traditional relationships.
So that goes back to, so you guys do not have an
But
open
real
relationship.
quick, I just want to give a shout out to Sir Naughty. You know what I mean? Like, him being
Yes.
an awesome road top too, and I'm so eager to learn suspension from
Yeah,
you. Thank you. So shout out real quick.
That's
Who
right.
was that again?
Sir
Naughty.
Naughty. That's
The
the
rope
rope
guy,
top
she
she
goes,
was
Sir
referring
Naughty.
to.
Sir-
Sir Naughty.
Sir Naughty, yeah.
Like,
I
people
like that.
go
I
to
like the
him
name.
to
I
learn.
like the
Like,
name.
like rope educators go to
teach.
him
Oh,
to teach them how to teach others.
to teach more.
Yeah.
did you
He's
learn from
honestly-
Sir Naughty?
Say no, I like she said, rope is not my thing.
It triggers
Oh,
him.
but
Yeah.
tying, she said you're really good at.
I can do it.
Oh, okay. But it's still not your thing.
I don't enjoy
No, he-
doing it, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
He uses chains and
this.
leather.
Yeah, I've
But
got
that's
this
what's
guy
cool.
who's amazing who can do it, and she's
But
she's
I was
getting
gonna say
great
that's
at
what's
it.
cool. That
So
you like tying already,
do.
so the rope could. Yeah, that's.
I'm
do,
lucky
I do.
girl. I have a daddy and a puppy.
yeah, I do like bondage.
Yeah,
I do
like
like heavy bondage.
I was gonna say,
What's
she
that?
said you like leather and chains.
Yeah,
Chains, yeah.
the sound of chains and just being dry. I mean,
Like
what
the
chain
coldness
sounds
of
like on there.
them.
The weight.
He's an asshole.
Like
But
if
a
you're
good one.
if you got rope and you're tied, like you remember you had your arm up here, but if you're tied up with a rope, that's fine. But if I
You
cuff
hear
you
the-
up there like that and leave the chain just here, the whole time you're getting that weight on your arm. So yeah, I'm putting stress on your body.
But it's the drip as opposed
Yeah,
to the.
your body's still getting a
intense.
drip because opposed.
I'm
to
learning, dude. I'm
Yeah,
learning.
He's a
Yeah, I do
sadist.
too.
There you
Come
go.
on,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta give people.
And I'm a
He's
sadist,
a
so-
sadist. He gets creative on how to make you feel good and also pain, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what's happening? But this is great. Don't stop.
Wow, that's so. It's,
I'm tripped out in
Yeah,
a good way.
It's walking the line. We call it seducing consent.
seducing consent.
Yes, because remember you have to go a little harder each time. That's why there's people who are at the extreme parties. They really have learned how to process those chemicals.
Yeah.
So you have to you elevate it as you go. So you have to the next level. Man, I got to smack you harder on this next one to get you there. So how much do I have to impact you to get that next drip
To get that next drip.
without you saying stop?
It's
red.
too much. Yeah, right.
safe words.
Oh, there's safe words.
Safe
involved.
words, yeah.
Oh wow,
Always.
wow. Okay.
Always, yeah.
That's in the negotiation.
And when you say that, like everything's just shut down. Right?
You
Yeah.
have to.
You have to.
Red. Only if you call red.
Like, no matter how small that trigger is, there,
It would trigger something.
like, even if you consider whatever's going on like this simple thing and that person's calling red on you, don't shame it. Like, really, this is all you can take? Like, how dare you?
That's unacceptable.
No,
in the
like,
community.
understand the trigger and
There's another
just
way.
stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
discuss what happened. What are you feeling? What did I do? Like, what? So you don't do that again.
Yes.
And you want to start those good habits from the beginning, because once you start to know yourself and go deeper into that rabbit hole, then later on you're doing more extreme things. Then you want to know that when you call your pineapples or your red,
Pineapples is the word I was thinking. It's so funny you said it.
then you want to trust that your dom is going to listen to you. So this is how I allow myself to allow you to push my boundaries and my buttons, because I know that if I say this is enough, you're going to stop and respect that.
Okay. So I had gone back real quick though. So not an open relationship, but she can. So how did that conversation go about? Is this like, are you guys all three in a relationship, or is this just like?
In the beginning, it was just the two of them.
Okay. So you kind of had.
Well, I mean, it's my wife. So,
Yeah, of course.
So,
I mean,
I guess the one thing that I've always said, and when I met her, she lived with a woman. And so now that we're married, all of a sudden, that's it. Nothing, no man, no women, no. You're like, it's ridiculous to think that, and there's no matter how soft or gentle or loving, I will never be able to connect with her on a feminine level like that, regardless of it. Just can't.
Facts. Facts.
Why would I take that away from somebody I love? Love allows. Love doesn't restrict. Love allows.
Wow, I like that. I like that.
And really, like, when we got in our relationship, we're 20 years apart.
Yeah, that too.
20.
I'm gonna.
So when we first started, or even when we first started, he's like, I don't ever want you to, or when we first got married, he's like, I never want you to say I missed out because I married you this young, or I didn't do that because, or blame him for anything I missed out on, because I got married at 23.
Wow.
So now, like, I'm entering my 30s, and it's like, oh, you know,
you're in your 30s.
I shush. I'm kidding. No, I'm turning 34, and I'm very proud of it. In 2 days.
You should be. What's your sign?
Pisces.
Pisces?
Oh, it's just
Sagittarius.
Aries.
Leo, Capricorn.
Okay.
What are you
My
over there,
rising is
Willow?
Capricorn.
Taurus.
I'm loving his faces this whole time.
Dude,
So he literally was like, I really, if something interests you, like, come to me first. Like
talk about
you
it.
can explore. I just don't want you to ever blame me for anything that you feel like you missed out. And because he met me living with a woman, and he's like, I'll never be able to touch you like one, or, connect with you like on that level. I'm fine with you dating women, finding women for you, or whatever.
finding women for her.
Yeah, for me.
So you get to scout.
I'm not any good at it.
No?
No.
No, he is too. I'm a terrible texter. And I used to reel them in, but he used to talk to them. And then when he came to meeting, I'd be like, yay, because
I had to seal the deal just so that she would get some playtime because
I don't text. I'm terrible.
Yeah, she didn't even do the texting thing very well. So you're trying to develop a relationship. Like, you can go out on dates with women. How do people meet people nowadays? It's on Tinder or the profile.
Yeah.
So you heard it. So she'll send a message. Oh, I like this girl, and I'd be like,
then I just
hey.
stop.
So I'd have to go, hey.
And then he'll be like, by the way, you're this and that, and you're going here. Oh yeah, thank you, Daddy.
Is there some pretty receptive people to like the fact that you want to introduce this woman to another woman?
No. Wait, what?
Like are people like, because I'm assuming these people don't know that you're married.
Some people don't get it.
Really?
Or right? Am I?
No, you're answering it correctly. That
question?
was my question. Like, because it's hard for. I mean, that's why I'm asking so many questions, because I'm trying to understand it myself. But so you're both allowed to introduce somebody into.
Who's you both?
Both of you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can she?
She could if she had
Another woman,
By
like,
the way I feel about it, I mean, same. I mean, it would be the same.
Why would you
access. I
think
love
that
her.
I
Why
wouldn't
would
be
I?
allowed? Let me ask that.
Well, I mean, just because they have the seniority of being married, I guess.
Okay.
Which is
I
a
guess-
very valid point.
That is a
sense.
very valid
I
point.
guess you could say.
But this is one thing you don't know. When I met her, she was married.
I was
In
with
an open
my
relationship.
partner for 15 years.
You were.
So I understand the long term. Yeah, I was with her for 15 years.
Are you around the same age as her? I don't want to ask your age.
I'm literally a month older. A month younger.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah, 34 then soon. But
yeah, April 10th, baby.
Yeah, so you were married 15 years.
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And her wife is the one that actually came to me and like.
So I told my wife, I was like, that girl's cute. I really want to kiss. Like, how would you feel about me?
So you
kissing
and you guys,
her?
you and your wife had
we
this.
were open at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Only like the last 2 years of our relationship we were open. So at the time, I was like, this girl's really, really cute. How would you feel if I kissed her? I haven't kissed a girl with a lip piercing like that in the middle. Like only like a ring, but not
In the middle.
Not like that, you know? And she was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Trying to get one on me, she goes to her and was like, has my wife told you she wants to kiss you yet? Not knowing, like, oh, you should just took on like a dare.
Not knowing who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
So and I looked at her and I was like, as a matter of fact, she hasn't. And I looked at her and I just grabbed her face and made out with her face right in front of her wife.
And I know I just continued it, just made out like right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Fuck
awesome.
yeah, that was cool.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
she hasn't, but I'm glad you mentioned it.
So I'm guessing you and your wife shortly after decided to part ways.
Oh, actually, she met someone at Girls in Wonderland too. So it was like, good game. You know what I mean? Like, It was amicable. We were together for so long. And then, like, there was just a lot of stuff, and it just got to a point where it's like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And it was the same, like, it was mutual, and it's like, we had a kid, so it was like trying to keep it together for a kid too. Latinos are, we try to do the best that we can.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, I have a taste of like happiness. Once you get a taste of happiness, you're just like,
this is what I want.
this is what I want.
Yeah.
It's just that simple, and no disrespect or anything, mother, my child, shout out to you. Hope you're doing great. I'm happy that you're happy. I'm happy, and we just kind of only talk when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm. But it was a thing because when we first met, I'm like, I'm married, she's married, we can do
so
the
it worked
thing.
out really, really well.
Yeah, it actually was perfect.
But then when they
scenario.
came to that decision that now she's not gonna be married, she actually had like a panic attack of like, how are we gonna feel? Because things change, because
I picked you guys up from the airport.
My wife's girlfriend was married, and now my wife's girlfriend is
literally
not married.
Wow.
and that changes a lot. It's like
it does change
what does
the
that
internal
change?
dynamic.
Well, it didn't. It really didn't. But like fears that you're like maybe they're okay with this because I'm also married, but now.
But if she's married, she goes home. Even if she stays for a week, she has responsibilities in her other portion of her life. If she stays her girlfriend, then the amount of time and energy that they're going to be together and her fulfillment on some level too, at 30-something years old, that means her and I are going to have a relationship of some kind.
Of course.
If it's just your wife, it's like if your boy's girlfriend, how much time do you spend with her? You don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, that
All of a sudden, she's more available.
Yeah, they're more available.
I literally picked him up from the airport and was like, so y'all still gonna love me even if I go through a divorce? I didn't know how else
And
to
first,
say.
I'm over here like, is it my fault? Oh my god, no! Like I'm like freaking out because I was like, that wasn't my intention. And
No,
feel
it
that
wasn't.
way.
It wasn't their fault.
What size your prostate gotta be?
The beautiful thing about being a woman, we got our dicks come in every size and we can exchange them.
When they can vibrate.
In the middle of it, you're not feeling this anymore? All right, baby, I got you. I got this other one.
Hang on, another
Let me
pillow.
just size up real quick. Hold on. Transformer this
Let
shit
me
up.
size up real quick.
Yeah.
I'd be hulking out.
Fuck yeah.
But you, Tank, you were mentioning that beforehand you were in the military.
15 years.
15 years. And what
I started out in the United States Army.
Okay.
And I was in the infantry for a while.
Thank you very much for your service, sir.
Welcome. I was there for 7 years, and then I transitioned into more. I still worked for the military, but in a different capacity.
Yeah. And what in between, like, what years did you do this?
Oh my God, a long time ago.
Long time ago?
Back when life was black and white.
Yeah, when all our satellite photos were in black and white.
Before iPhone. Before iPhone.
Where GPS actually didn't work.
What's Google?
It was the maps.
Yeah, we didn't have
Literal
GPS.
map.
We had a literal map on my lap with a compass going like this.
So do you like hate the soldiers now that have like
I'm
the
scared for them.
digital?
No, I mean,
Yeah, because what if it dies? Do they know how to read still?
Let's hope.
Thank you.
Do they go like this and they're where the wind is?
Which way is the wind?
Yeah, well, I'm sure they still teach basic land navigation.
I would hope so.
Yeah, they have to.
But did you do? Were you overseas?
I was. I spent some time in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of time in Iraq. Some time in Bosnia, Kosovo, Serbia.
Wow.
More Serbia. So few of those places during the Balkans area. I was there, I guess, during the Balkans area.
What is that?
The Balkans, when I guess there was the whole Bosnia and Serbia genocide that was going on in Bosnia and Serbia at the time. And we spent a lot of time working with them, working with the Kosovo, rebuilding Kosovo after it was destroyed.
By the Bosnian people?
By whoever was the bad guys, you know. I mean,
it depends. It's just whoever side you're on.
It
Okay.
depends on what side you're on. You know, very similar to, I guess, the Hamas and Israel. Whatever, you know, your interests are, then that's the bad guy and that's the good guy. So
okay.
We have no business anywhere, truthfully,
doing anything.
You know, now in all this hindsight, it's we're fed something different. We're not there to promote peace. We're there to line somebody's pockets. There, I said it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a serviceman saying this. You know, this is. And did you do any tours?
Several. Yeah.
Wow.
My last 5 years in, I spent 49 months deployed. So
Wow.
over the course of my last 60 months.
And deployed.
Not consecutively, you know, because you got to deploy, you got mission, and then you've got to come home, retrain, go back out, come home, retrain, go back out, because every mission has a difference. Every area of the world has its own little idiosyncrasies that you need to know to operate.
Yeah. And what is idiosyncrasy?
Each part of the world has its own, you know, its own language, its own dialects, you know, their own customs, their own cultures, information that you need to be able to work in that area.
Yeah.
So, and that changes as war happens.
Wow.
So the populations change, ages change. It's really actually from a social anthropological state, it's a pretty interesting thing. Because right now, for those men out there that wondering why they can get, you know, Ukrainian, right now it's 120 Ukrainian women to every 100 males.
Wow. So it's 20 more women per
because
wow.
of the war. So you get those kind of parameters that change
my
as the
God.
years are going by. So that's why you have to come home, reclaim
your woman?
Retrain, get everything together, and then head back out there. So
head back out. Wow, man. Yeah. That I couldn't even imagine being 48 months. So definitely, dude, you got balls of steel, and we appreciate you for real. Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, because I mean, people don't realize how spoiled we truly are.
Oh my
I
God.
just watched a Netflix documentary not that long ago on Black Hawk Down. I don't know if you're familiar.
Very.
Yeah, and I saw the Netflix documentary, and it truly. I appreciated that Netflix got both sides, you know,
100.
Like I like because a lot of the times when they make movies about America, it's mostly the American side, and we don't know how it affected them or what they were thinking at that time. So I like that it got both sides. But what those guys went through, bro, the balls those guys have.
It's scary, man.
No,
it's scary.
I mean, I know you know, but like seeing this from bro, the fact that these guys are stuck somewhere in a building, bro, and people are coming, shooting at them, and they're holding this one little, like this back little space down, bro, and holding it down all night, dog.
All night.
And they were talking about the convoys that drove through the city and were getting fired at, and they were like, bro, it was like,
shout out to Staff Sergeant Stebbins. He was actually in Black Hawk Down. Remember the guy was always bothering people about the coffee?
Yes.
He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank
awesome.
him for his service as well. But
he deserved retirement. He's doing great. Last I heard,
He's
I haven't heard in
still
20 years. So.
yeah.
So
wow. Yeah. But that was a crazy.
that's cool,
that was a crazy thing to see, man. I was tripping
great.
out.
Actually, great movie. If you are going to watch war movies,
the film itself was good. The documentary was like mind blowing.
The book goes into a lot more detail on both sides. So if you did enjoy hearing both sides of the story, the book it did delve into both sides. I mean, obviously, it's written from our perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and anytime you have but I appreciated the fact that they did try to display the perspective of the people that you're there with, because people don't know. We get there and people just want to live their lives, by and large. Most people just want to go about their daily life. They want to put food on the table. They want to spend time with their loved ones. You know, they want a safe environment to live in. And that's not what it's like. It's a shame. All for, you know, a few extra dollars.
Yeah.
You know?
The lives of people. Like,
It's tragic. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. No, I can totally agree. But
because by and large, people are people.
At the end of the day, like, money rules the world, but it's ugly how people get it, man. It's so ugly. It is. You know, that's why I want to get a $100 bill tattooed around my foot, because I think it's like money. I think it's you need to have it, but it's like the bottom of the bottom to me. Like, it doesn't make you a better person. It multiplies who you actually are. So if you're a piece of shit and you get money, you're not going to be a better person.
Oh my God.
You know?
And unfortunately, to get some of that real money,
you got to be
a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but business, cutthroat, you got to, you know, it's one of the wonderful things about LA. There's been a lot of businesses here, and just like this place tries to be an ethical business. Yeah. You know, they try to give a safe space for everybody. It's awesome, sure. You know?
We love when people come here, and some people tell us like, yo, we feel comfortable. Like, they'll come in and they'll just hang out. Like customers that just come and just hang out. And it's cool because we want to be all inclusive, and like, I want everybody to feel comfortable here. This is judgment free. Like, be yourself, whether it be whoever it is that you are, just be yourself. As long as it's respectful to others, like we don't mind, you know. But speaking of large amounts of money, Daphne was actually a Beast Games contestant.
I was player 976.
976, better known as the player that threw everybody's game.
Sabotaged the ball drop game. 17, 18, 19, 23. Well, you know what's crazy is something that is not aired is I actually am screaming in English and in Spanish. I also scream forward and backwards and different cadences. Like, literally, I was like, I will fuck you up. One way or another.
Because at the end of the day, like, this wasn't... Nobody said that you couldn't do this beforehand, right?
Exactly. It's crazy because you say that. As I'm, we're blindfolded and I'm screaming and I hear footsteps running towards me and I thought I was going to get in trouble. And I was like, oh, shit. But there wasn't anything in the rules that said we couldn't. Yeah. And then I realized, oh, that's cameras on me. Okay, I'm officially the asshole. Like, I remember thinking, like, I'm officially the villain. Like, I remember thinking that thought process as I heard, like, towards me. You know what I mean?
Because you're still blindfolded. Even though you drop or whatever happened, you're still
I lost count around 9 minutes. So if you watch the episode, because a lot of people are like, why'd you drop early? When I put the ball down and they flash back, you see it says, like, 9 minutes and 20 seconds.
And what was it, 10 minutes?
It's 10 minutes total. Okay. So I lost count around 9 minutes and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my ball down. This secures me going to the next round. So I wasn't out. And I'm just going to make this harder. Like, for me, it was like, I didn't have to deceive anybody. I didn't have to be like, yo, make me your captain and eliminate your ass. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that.
That shit was so crazy.
It's crazy.
That shit was crazy.
So, like, I was like, this is the one game that it's me versus y'all. It's us versus us. We're not in a team. And mad respect to most of y'all, but it's only one person can win. Yeah. So I was like, at best, if I'm yelling and you throw your ball down, I just saved you from getting eliminated. You're welcome. Right? But if you decide to hold on to the ball after that, that's on you. You're taking a chance in your own. So, I mean, I just made it a little harder. Yeah. So about 20 to 22 people got out because of that.
Okay, what team were you on with the bell?
My leader was Jeremy. It was actually between me and Jeremy as to who they're going to put up.
Jeremy was the cult leader.
Jeremy is the religious person.
Yeah,
I'm going to put it that. Give me Jeremy friends.
No, Jeremy's cool.
They edited it kind of crazy. But yeah, he's religious. Like, think about it. I want you to put it in this perspective. We're gone for like a whole month. Most people who are religious go to church on what day? Sunday. So he led like a church group on the Sundays that they were there. Like, so that's the part that you don't see. You know what I mean? Like there was a community that was built of people who were like, I normally go to church. You seem like the pastor type. We'll just do a church here. So you guys don't get to see that part. So he got real deemed as a cult leader, but he really wasn't. So Jeremy, I got you, man. And you held your truth. Like, you actually gave me the ticket. Like, you held your word. At the end of the day, that's all I was worried about. And he did. So I got to, give him respect for that.
Yeah, no. And the cult leader thing, I just say that because it's the last thing I saw before I stopped watching.
That's how they identify
it. But he was actually like a kind-hearted dude. Like he was really just trying to play the game, And honestly, I asked this question on the show, and I'm gonna ask you since you were on the show. Would you have hit for the $1 million?
Absolutely. That's what I said. I'm glad that they picked
Period.
Jeremy because it's like, yo, it's nothing personal.
Even more people would have
When
got
they
eliminated.
didn't even ask me. They didn't even ask me, would you push the button? They were just like, oh, Daphne, she's great. Blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, oh, Jeremy. And Jeremy was like, I wouldn't push the button. I won't push the button.
Did you almost get elected?
It was
Melrose?
between me and Jeremy. Yeah, it was this. Y'all were this close to going home.
How many people was it?
I think it was either 30 or 60. I don't remember. It was 60, right?
I think it was 60.
It was 60. It was a
Because
big chunk. I can eliminate you and take a bag.
And keep working.
And stay in the game.
Yeah.
though.
Stay in the game.
to get more of a
So
bag.
when someone,
Yes.
yeah, no, I'm glad they didn't ask me like, will I take it? Jeremy just kept screaming, oh, I'm not gonna take it. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna lie. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
man,
I love
If you guys choose me, you chose me, and
You
you out.
chose me.
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
this
Like
is
I said,
your bad.
right? I'm not gonna be deceitful to anybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's why, like, even doing the sabotage game, like, I got a comment today. This is what February. It dropped when. December, I'm still getting every day. You're the worst person ever. You're terrible. Blah 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 blah. We hate you. And then, but there's other people like, what you did is so smart. Blah 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 blah. Like people are still like on both sides of the coin.
Somebody
about
was
it.
trying to find out where she lived.
If someone comments on my TikTok, I'm gonna find out where you live.
I swear, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's dirty," but I get it. You know, like
We're fighting
I
against
get
fighting.
it.
I ain't gonna make it easy, baby.
I
I
get
ain't
it.
gonna make it easy.
No, because at the end of the day, that, like you said, that's a solo game.
Yeah.
Like with this, so you got on the helicopter, and then
did.
after
I
you
went
went
to
to
the
the island. So two things. First, I was mad at the first episode, that kid that took like $10,000 and eliminated like 10 people. Did you see that on the
Yeah,
show?
he was like a 19-year-old. He took like
He was
20,000.
like
Oh
20
yeah, I
grand.
remember that. I forgot about
He
that.
was-
That's
but
how right off the
He's
rip, he was like,
19.
"Rip, here's my money."
You're
20
19.
grand
20
to a
grand.
19-year-old. Like, that's...
You're right.
like,
You're right. You're right. Fuck
Give
all these
myself a
people.
Honda Accord.
I gotta really watch it.
That's true.
No, my favorite was Da Vinci in the first episode because the whole episode, I'm not gonna take it. Shout out to Da Vinci.
80. He took 80.
He took the 100,000.
Oh,
He took the
100K.
100,000 at the end.
100,000.
He living his whole team solid. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, my bad, y'all.
So I guess how do you sign yourself up for this show?
Man, anybody who wants to sign up for season 2, I'll throw the link on later. But
Okay,
it's,
we'll put it down below as well.
Casting is out right now. It just opened up like 2 days ago.
Oh wow!
sick.
Yeah, I just submitted my video.
So it's just you just walking in,
You
shooting
just
shit.
applied.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first moved here, even like recently, wanting to get more into entertainment, I joined casting networks. So shout out to casting networks, and I told myself I'm gonna apply every single day to 10 different castings every day. One of them happened to be Beast Games, and I had no idea what it was.
Wow.
I just got called back like not even a full week later. It was like a couple days later. I got a text about it, then an email, then I'm filling out like paperwork, and then like not even 3 months later, went to Vegas. Beat the first 2,000, went to the 1,000, then went to...
Oh, so they have a
was a-
first 2,000 before, and
Which-
then you win that, and then you get to be on the show.
episode 0 is on YouTube. So you have to first to even get on the Amazon show, you have to beat 1,000 other people. So there was 4 challenges in Vegas across 3 days.
Literally a 50-50 shot.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so 3 days doing those challenges.
What did that consist of? Almost similar to the show, or any different?
Yes and no. The first challenge was you had to split up into a couple groups, I think of like 450 or like 500, and you have to raise a 10,000 pound boulder. The last group to raise a 10,000 pound boulder immediately eliminated.
Raise it where? Like up a mountain?
Past like a line. Like it was on the
like
floor.
Like
You
you
had
had
to pull
to-
a
It
rope.
was like tug of war.
I'm telling you, the rope was like it was this thick. It was so thick. The rope, it like ones that they use like on cruise ships or something. Like it was really thick.
Like a ship rope.
It was huge to pull
Anchor
up a
rope.
10,000 pound boulder.
Yeah.
So our team, shout out to Team Orange. We were the first ones to get it up. So secured us in the bag.
Nice.
Then the second one, I think it was the briefcase challenge where he had, I want to say like 200 briefcases and 50 of them had eliminations.
Oh, and you had to run to the.
And you had to run to. He showed you on a screen for
Real
like
quick.
10 seconds which ones were green and which ones were red. Red means you're automatically eliminated. So I memorized the back half of the board and I ran straight across to the back so I can just go boop to the first one in front of me. And I did. So I made it through. Immediately started crying. They didn't air that, thankfully, but
Yeah.
I was so grateful.
Yeah.
And then the third challenge. Oh, fuck, what was it?
Because at the end of the day,
it
you're
was
playing
4.
for $5 million.
Right.
So,
Right.
shit.
Man, I can't remember
Yeah.
the third challenge, but the fourth challenge is important because that's how we got our jersey number. It was the race.
The flag.
The flags. So you had like a line, and then so like let's say these are the flags. There's only like 1,000 flags.
So there's only 1,000
There's
flags.
only
you're saying?
1,000 flags, but there's 1,300 people left. Yeah. So you have to compete against them to go. So let's say this is the line. you cross that line, you're in the game. So let's say there is 3 flags and 5 people cross that line. Now you're in a race. The first 3 people to grab it, you're in. The other 2 automatically eliminated. Wow. So they did that for multiple rounds, but they would bring out one round might be 1 flag. Another round might be 150 flags. Another round might be 10. So my player number was 976. I went through a few rounds before I was like, all right, I'm going to run. I'm going to let the meatheads go first and duke it out. And if you watch episode 1, one of the first 3 rows knocked out is 1, 2, and 3. All those meatheads immediately gone from the game.
Wow.
All the athletes.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But it's the truth. You know, I know at the time I was 40 pounds heavier. I know myself. I was like, I cannot beat these guys. So I had to wait. Yeah. So I just waited, and then
you had to play smart. You had to play to your strengths.
You can see me in the background when they showed Jeremy getting his flag. I'm in the background like this. Like it's a terrible shot, but you know, whatever.
Hell yeah.
I made it. I made. Oh no, that was the 3rd challenge. The 4th challenge was the platforms where you each now you have 1,100 people.
Thing, right?
No, there's 1,100 people. I'm sorry, I mistook. There was 1,100 flags, 1,300 people. So now you have 1,100 people. You got to get down to 1,000. They had platforms.
Oh, the bids.
You had to put yourselves in groups of 100, get on the platform, and he starts bribing you. If one person off that platform steps off, you're all eliminated. So there was one time he brought out like 50,000, and a girl off a platform over there immediately jumped off, eliminating her whole team. But mind you,
that's the viral one, right?
She did it without him saying go. Yeah. He did it before she said go, so she technically shouldn't have won anything. No.
Oh, everybody did though.
She got a little bag. She got a little bag. It wasn't 50K.
She didn't get the 50K,
but she got something for her time.
How far did you get? Like episode 1 through 8? Is it 10?
6. Episode 1 through 6.
What episode?
And then the reunion.
You got to like what?
6. I got 6. There's 10. I got 6 out of 10.
Oh, 6
or is it
out of
7?
10.
6 out of 10.
So you got to go to the island.
I got to the island. Yeah, I was in 4 days, 3 to 4 days in Panama, in a private island in Panama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How was that?
They don't show it as much, but it was a beautiful time.
Oh, I haven't seen past. Like I'm telling you, after you got on a helicopter, I ain't seen.
It's like a blip of what they show.
Really?
Yeah.
They show more, I think, in like the memories of the players playing. About the island, and they did the actual island.
And how long
Yachty was there. We got to see him.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. How long did you guys stay? A month, was it?
It was like a month. Yeah.
Dang.
I left like August 6th.
They took their electronics, everything.
Yeah. No phone.
Nothing.
No watch. They didn't even tell us what time it was during the day. Yeah.
Bro,
no phone, no watch, no anything.
She put me down as an emergency contact, and I would get like a text every 2 to 3 days in the morning. Like, if you're getting this text, just know that your player's still in the game and they're doing good. And you're just like,
it was so tight that in between sets, so like let's say we had to go travel somewhere, so they put us in a hotel. The hotel room had no TV and no phone.
Man.
You were not communicating at all with the outside world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did the weather play a factor? But you guys had like, cause they had dormitories, no? Like you could stay.
It was like Girl Scouts. They had like 60 of us in a bunk. In the house, they had 60 of us in there. So it was like girl or girl identified, boy, male identified, girl, boy, each house. And it's crazy because coming back from the island, they put us all in one. Like we could all fit in one house.
In one house.
That's how much people were less.
Dude, was it chaos? Was it
people.
Chaos? So many personalities just clashing.
Like
In the
world.
beginning, it was. In the beginning, it was a hot mess.
Yeah.
And not the production that was amazing, but getting to know people. I met like 3 Andys. Shout out to all of y'all. I met like 4 different Matthews. Bald Matthew's my favorite. No offense. And Dallin, if you're watching, you know I call you Dallin, not Matthew. So both of y'all, you know.
Yeah.
But you get to meet you meet a lot of people. Like, you know, shout out to Kate. She's one thing you don't see. She sacrificed herself for me to move forward in the cubes.
Wow.
Kennedy. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
the cube.
Our cube story. Yeah. Like our story doesn't show. It wasn't dramatic enough. Apparently.
Oh, she sacrificed herself.
She sacrificed
You didn't play
herself.
a game.
So no, we did. So because she said I'm gonna sacrifice myself for you, we told her we would play Monopoly and we ordered pizza and spent time with her up until it was time to go. I'm not heartless, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna make it hard to win $5 million, but I'm not heartless.
Yeah.
You
But I
know,
mean, because you're trying to win $5 million yourself.
Right. So if I'm gonna make it sweeter with this pizza Monopoly.
Dang. Are you gonna try for season 2?
Oh yeah, I applied.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I applied.
I'm sure you'll get into the top 2,000.
You know, I gotta redeem myself. I was painted as a villain, and I just want to do better.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're hoping they pick all 3 of us.
Yeah.
That'd be
That'd be
fucking
so
sick.
fire. They need to pick all 3 of you guys. That'd be fucking great. That'd be.
yeah,
so-
I already put mine in there.
you guys think you be down? You think you'll do well?
Oh, I think we would do
sure.
amazing.
What?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You do amazing.
We're definitely personalities. So
Oh, for sure. For sure. I was telling Angel that the show more in depth is like shows you humanity as well when there's money on the line.
It
Yes,
does.
sir.
You know?
it's
Money
such a
can do.
social experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's
Facts.
Because it's like you can tell me you're a
Mr.
good guy all
Beast
you want.
He loves to see
Yeah.
what
But here
humans
go
will
$1 million.
do for money.
Yeah, here's $1 million. How good are you?
I actually
can tell you how good I am.
I sent out a tweet. I was like, Mr. Beast is such a masochist. He's just like, let me just throw money here and
Yeah.
see what happens. and you just to see the pleasure. I got the opportunity to be there for the reunion, and just watching him enjoy, like his production was
Sadist.
awesome. Like
Really?
it was
Yeah.
cool to
It's a
watch.
kink.
It
Mr.
Oh
Beast,
yeah,
you're kinky.
you can see it. You can see like all this games he does.
He makes
just-
great content. I will say that, but the money give it away every time. I can see how that could play into a kink, like where you run, you feel good
a
off
power
of
trip.
changing somebody's life.
It's a power trip.
I'll change your
doing
life
it.
right
It's
now, baby.
fulfilling
Say I
because
won't
one,
do
he's
it.
changing people's lives.
Say I won't.
He's changing people's lives, and then he's also seeing what humans can do for money.
For money, how the
or
dirty,
willing to do.
the piggy.
But he was awesome. Honestly, he was awesome. A great personality.
Yeah.
Just like you
I
see
like
in the
the guy.
videos, is
Yeah.
exactly how he is. Like, he's not different on or off
He's
camera.
super
That's
chill.
dope.
He's so chill. Most of the time, he was like in sweatpants. Like, it was cool to just see him like human, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And he is exactly what you see. Exactly how he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, brutal. You know, that's literally, he's
Brutal.
Like, yeah.
Did you outlast Jeremy or no?
We got out at the same time.
Same time.
Same game.
Wow.
Yeah.
What game was it?
Chance.
Chance? What's that?
So they spun out. So essentially, shut up, y'all.
Here, I'll
So,
tell this part.
so essentially, we had to choose between physical, mental, or chance as far as the games, and I chose chance because.
Oh, this is where I ended off, actually.
there
yeah,
you go.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
about to spoil it for
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Spoiler
please,
alert.
please.
So there's like a wheel. Think of like Wheel of Fortune, except it's Wheel of Disfortune. The number that he lands on is how many people need to be eliminated, and there was only 16 of us that chose chance. So if we landed on 16, we're all gone. If we landed on 0, we're all safe. And then there was one that had like, I don't know, I think like a big amount of money that split between us all would have been like 30 grand.
Okay.
If we landed on that, we did that, and then he would spin again. Well, he landed on like 12. So 12 of us were getting eliminated.
16.
So the pillars that were episode 1, he brought us back there. But only 100 of them. And you had to choose which one to stand on, and then you'll see whether or not it was part of the ones that are open. And he kept doing that until he eliminated up to 12 people. He kept doing it in different rounds.
Different.
And like I think it was like the third round, like one open over here, one up over here, one up over here, and then bam, mine.
You're open.
Bah, and I fell down 7 feet into a black pit.
I was gonna
with
say,
foam pits.
was it deep? Like,
It was cool. It was cool. It was crazy because I remember seeing it in episode 1, and I was like, man, I kind of know what it feels like, but I don't want to get eliminated.
Yeah,
So I got to see what it was. Yeah, it was cool.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
The experience, I'm sure, is dope. It's something to add to the resume
In
as
like
well.
less
and-
than 45 days, I went from LA to Canada to Panama to Canada back to LA. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, so the island that they gave away, where was it?
It's in Panama.
It's in
It was
Panama.
another. The islands were like next to each other, so we would take like a $14 million yacht. We would take on a barge to a $14 million yacht to watch the other players on the private island
Wow.
play. And so they would put it up like on the screens on the boat, and then they would put us back to our private island
Wow.
to not interfere with what was happening. Yeah.
Mr. B's got money now. I've heard interviews that he said he lost money doing that show.
I mean,
I'm
probably.
I'm
but
sure if he
I
evened
feel like
out
he's
by
gonna
now.
get it back.
Excited.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna get
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Is it really lost?
I think at that level, he creates money so like this that he's not worried.
Bro, and the sponsorships, T-Mobile, money.
Feastables, you know, and now he's got Lunchly as well. On top of
Lunchly.
his other channel, he's got Mr. Beast Philanthropy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's doing amazing, and his goal was to just show like I can show that YouTubers, creators can create a space in the entertainment world. You know, and he had a show and that his subscribers would transfer over, and done successfully. Like it's really smart.
Bro, and the production, you got to watch, dude.
No,
Because just
I'm
production wise,
totally
like the
watching
production of the show, I thought was done really well. Granted, there's a lot of camera angles, so I'm sure a lot of that content.
If you
Oh,
watch
man, you gotta keep watching.
each episode, it changes from like a YouTuber type of feel to a cinematic feel of an actual show. If you rewatch it, you can be able to see that like the quality, the storyline,
progression.
like one
The
thing you don't see,
progression.
like the outpan of JC, which is 650,000 spoiler alert. It's just it's cinematic. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
cinematic.
you gotta watch it.
Okay.
That's a
hell yeah,
spoiler.
I'm
alert.
for
and I love
sure
you,
will
JC. You did what you
rewatching
did with
it.
your family. No beef.
Yeah, I gotta watch. I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
happened.
gotta watch it.
I don't know.
It gets spicy.
Okay,
It
see,
gets-
because I saw the winner.
The closer you get to those 5 mil,
Yeah, and
like,
you know what? The contest got to be a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
like once you build that relationship with the players, then you're really like rooting, like you really want to watch this thing.
Yeah.
Watch it and then watch the reunion. The reunion just dropped earlier this week.
You were there too?
Yeah, we were both there. You people's both.
You see me there.
I'm for sure
yeah,
watching.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
for sure watching.
I'm for sure watching. I'm for sure. Well, we're excited to see you in season 2.
Thank you.
I hope you win $5 million. I hope you win more.
I appreciate that.
No, hell yeah. We'll be rooting for player 976.
That'd be a badass, like, after like a secondary podcast. Be like, so how was
How's winning
season
5
2,
million?
y'all?
Yeah. How's winning 5 million?
My tape was like, my girl was actually player 976, and I want to go there and show her that I can go further than her.
That's right. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah. But we appreciate you guys coming through. It was a lot of fun. I hope we can have you guys again sometime.
Yeah.
We love that. We've
Please.
there's so many topics we just
Oh yeah.
leaked on.
We can
We
like
did. It was like the topics were. boop. So later you're gonna be like, damn, I should write it all down.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
You
will.
know?
Without a doubt.
Part
Without a
2.
doubt.
No, we're gonna rekindle and do this thing again. We appreciate you guys for showing. And tell me again where they can email you guys, contact you guys, Instagram, Gmail, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Carnival Risque.
So it's Carnival Risque, Carnival with an E at the end, and then RISQUE across the board. Instagram, Facebook,
At Gmail.
at Gmail, carnivalrisque.com. Where
Hell
else? All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Carnival Risque. Everywhere.
Carnival Risque.
You can
Yes.
find it on TikTok, IG.
Everywhere.
OnlyFans also you guys have.
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
You
awesome.
find the Carnival Risque page. You'll find all of ours, and you'll find all the links.
There's a lot of bread
yeah,
in
you
Gotta
OnlyFans.
do some work.
There's a lot of bread in OnlyFans.
Yeah, and we kind of slept on it. We were just so busy doing everything else. Like we had our own club, our own other things, and like OnlyFans was just like another thing to get
To
into.
add to the
but
list.
we're actively now like really getting into it, really doing that yummy content, and
Dope.
A lot. Mine is gonna be a lot of rope on there.
Rope, Dom stuff. Cool. Cool.
You see.
Oh, yeah.
worship, latex, spankings,
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
orgasm
Great stuff.
denial.
Good.
Tune in, pay for it. Man. Tune in. No, but we appreciate you guys, and we'll definitely tag back
we
in
really
again.
appreciate you having us.
Hell
We'd
yeah.
love to come back, man.
Oh, yeah.
Great time.
Yeah,
Had
we
a
will.
Great time.
We will. Thank you guys. Hell yeah. Outro music.
Outro